Week 11 here at Central Hardin High School, where the 3-6 Central Hardin Bruins are hosting the visiting 5-4 Ballard Bruins. I have a feeling the Bruins are going to win tonight. Tim Mattingly, head coach for the Central Hardin Bruins. Central Hardin again coming in at 3-6 off a tough district championship loss to North Hardin, 47-7. Rough night last Friday night. Ballard Bruins coming off of a really tough loss, 19-14, against one of the top teams in the state, Trinity. And so two teams looking to get healthy and looking to get ready for the playoffs. Again, we're in Week 11, the last week of the regular season. We are, again, here at Central Hardin High School. This is Paul Gray here with you. Tonight I've got my friend Tony Menendez with me. He coached with me here as a defensive back coach here at Central Hardin High School. Tony, what do you see tonight?
I'm going to see a lot of wet field conditions. It looks like the rain has stopped finally. It's going to be an interesting game. I wonder if the teams will get kind of vanilla in their offense and defensive schemes being the last week of the season before the playoffs start. We got a rookie quarterback playing for Ballard tonight because of the bumps and bruises to their starters. So we'll see how this Carson Allen, the freshman, does. They may end up running the ball more than usual in their spread offense just because of having a rookie in there. So we'll see how the freshman does.
Well, Carson Allen, as you mentioned, is starting. Again, I talked to some of the Ballard Bruin coaches, and they noted that starter Austin Carr, we knew he had been injured in Week 5, senior quarterback. They really like their sophomore quarterback, Larry Cummings. He's been very successful over the last 4 weeks, but he's got some shoulder problems. He'll be ready to go next week for the playoffs, but they're going to rest him. And as you mentioned, it's freshman Carson Allen. So they've been very successful passing and running a very solid mixed attack. But we don't know what we'll see tonight out of them. It'll be very interesting. Now, again, the Ballard Bruins, a very talented club. Number 44, you ought to expect to see a lot of him on the defensive side of the ball, Justice Thompson. In the last 4 weeks, the Ballard Bruins have only given up 31 points. They're a very strong defensive team. And, Tony, the Bruins have struggled offensively. We know this has been a season of injuries for Central Hardin.
Yeah, it has.
They're on their 4th quarterback of the year, Sean Hay. He's been starting for about 5 weeks. Last week they had their top receiver, Gavin George, out due to injury. And so it's been a really tough season. I'm sure they're looking to get healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah, I think I think both teams are looking to get sorted up before things get even more serious come next week. We'll see what they do on the field. Like, the field's wet from where it's been raining all day. It's stopped now, and hopefully it doesn't rain the rest of the game. But, I mean, there could be some turnover things happening just because of the field conditions. I mean, the field looks nice now, but it could easily start getting rough as they play throughout the night.
We did notice, Tony, that the field is in gorgeous condition. This is only the 3rd home game for Central Hardin this year. It looks like a carpet. It's gorgeous. Walking on the field earlier before the game, but it's really wet. Again, as Tony mentioned, it's been raining all day, and it could be that beautiful blue CH out in the middle. Could be a bit of a brown spot here in about 2 hours. So we'll see how the field holds up. We'll see, as Tony mentioned, is that going to have any bearing on ball handling and so on. So before we get started tonight, I'm just going to take a moment to start off thanking a couple of our sponsors. Again, we're here with Brandenburg Telecom, providing services for all of your telecommunications needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results, with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. And Tony, we do throughout the evening recognize those sponsors. They give our student athletes and our students who are working behind the cameras tonight an opportunity by sponsoring our broadcast. We're very thankful for our sponsors and want to give them appropriate credit for what they've done. So it looks like the Bruins are going to be kicking off to the Bruins. Central Hardin kicking. It'll be Xander Allen who handles the punting and kickoff duties, whereas Evan Jones is the extra point and field goal kicker. He's been very successful this year. In fact, 2 weeks ago against Meade County, hit a 49-yard field goal, did Jones, Evan Jones. So, but it'll be Xander Allen handling the kickoff duties. He's usually we see squib kicks, and the Ballard Bruins are ready to receive, and the whistle's blown, and we're ready to get it started off. Week 11 here at Central Hardin.
Let's see if they kick it deep against that number 18, Elijah.
Squib kick, and it'll be fielded and down. And great field position for Ballard. They will start on about their own 38-yard line on the left hash.
Yeah, I was wondering if they're going to kick it deep to number 18.
Elijah Downing, yeah.
he's a heck of an athlete. And I thought, are you going to chance it to kick it to that kid, or just say, hey, we don't want that guy to have the ball right on the kickoff?
Exactly. Giving one of their best players the ball in the open field is always dangerous. So Central Hardin elects to kick the ball along the ground. And for the first time, we'll get an opportunity, it looks like, to see number 16, Carson Allen, at quarterback, the freshman for Ballard. Number 18, Elijah Downing, is a D1 prospect. You're going to notice a couple of 6'4" wideouts here for Ballard.
Yeah, they got some big boys.
Spread out to the right. They will be in the shotgun, tight end to the left. And it will be Allen taking the snap. Motion across. High snap, barely handled. Give off the left side, and scrambling for a few yards. That may have been 26 Michael Lofton, or 29 Jaden Farmer, actually, with the football.
Sometimes that happens when you got a new quarterback back there, and he's quite a bit shorter than the ones that were back there before, so got to get used to that.
Well, that was number 71 at center there, snapping the ball a little bit high, too, for Ballard. That'll bring up a 2nd and 8. Number 71 is Alex Collette, and the ball was delivered high. But good job to handle that tough snap, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 8 now, as Allen will be ready to receive the snap. Again, it's Downing out wide to the right. The snap is fielded well this time. Again, off tackle left to Farmer. He's got about 5 yards and running through more tackles. He's up the sideline for about a 15-yard gain.
Jared Russell looks like number 20.
I think it's 29.
There
it is. Yeah, it's 29. Jaden Farmer, who is their leading rusher. Farmer has 63 carries for 363 yards and 6 touchdowns this year. Is their leading rusher. Tony, talking to the coaches before the game, they actually have, and I can't remember the young man's name, but a young man who got hurt in the preseason who's already accepted an offer to UK. So this is a talent-laden team that, again, has been, similarly to Central Hardin, decimated by injuries.
Yeah. And some of their losses, they've been really close against tough teams as well. They haven't lost to scrubs.
They have not. They top 2 or 3 teams, Trinity and Mail and Manual. All right, we've got empty backfield, it looks like. Tight end and 4 wide. Timeout for the Ballard Bruins. Again, Tony, we're seeing the running game for Ballard.
Yep, I thought they would do that with a young quarterback playing, Don't want to put too much on his shoulders if you don't have to. Just see how much you can run the ball until the Bruins stop it. Keep doing it.
The Bruins have struggled in the last couple of weeks to stop the run, and they've gotten off to a rough start here. A couple of good running plays for Ballard to start the game, and as you mentioned, the young quarterback, they had to call a timeout there on 1st and 10 from the Central Hardin side of the 50-yard line on the 46. Again, let me thank Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties for all of your real estate needs. Contact Ryan at 723-4626, and he'll get the job done. So the teams are retaking the field. It'll be 1st and 10.
They're going empty again.
Going empty. Elijah Downing out to the right along with Paul Mullaney in the slot.
I wonder if we'll see a screen pass here.
Might give a quick screen. They've got some space out here. Farmer coming back to the backfield to flank Allen. Snaps a little high again, and it's mishandled.
Fumble.
It looks like the Central Hardin Bruins are on the football.
Yep, there we go.
I think it's number 62, Zach Jones, the big defensive tackle.
Looked like the handoff was mishandled there.
The exchange was mishandled as Allen was trying to give to Farmer. The ball was not handled well at all, and it squirted right. It didn't even look like it ever really got on the stomach of the running back there. So the Bruins take over with great field position on their own 47-yard line.
Yep,
they'll come out with wing and wide receiver to the left in that wing T formation. Bruins.
Got some movement on the play.
Well, Ballard showed blitz, Tony, and drew him off sides.
Yep.
Well, not a great start for the Central Hardin offense. They'll be backed up. It'll be 1st and 15 now. Big turnover to start the game, but not looking to take advantage of it right away.
Yeah, those field conditions, when that field gets wet, things can happen.
But it looks like Ballard, you'll notice that they have no deep safeties. They are bringing everybody up on the line of scrimmage, playing tight man-to-man defense, and give to Valentine straight ahead. Not much there.
And they're daring Central to try to pass. They're bringing everybody in the box.
Everybody in the box. It looks like they've got about 10 men in. They got 10 men inside the tackles there, and one corner out on the wide receiver. They're going to man up Gavin George outside here. And like you said, they're going to dare him to throw the football. That'll bring up a 2nd and 14 on a minimal gain by Valentine. Same formation to the left here. Deonko Wilkerson at running back, Valentine at fullback. Sean Hay back to throw, looking to Gavin George. He pumps, and he's going to run the football and be brought down after a 2-yard gain.
Hay on the keeper. Delaney on the stop.
Looks like they're running some kind of 6-3.
They've got a man goal line look to them, as Tony mentioned, that 6'3" is basically a goal line defense look, and so that's what it looks like. They're going to play man cover and just stack everybody in the box. If you can pop one, you'll be there's nobody back there to stop it. Boy, they'll be stacking it up. So that brings up a 3rd and 12 now. We've got 2 wings and tight end left. Sean Hay will turn. It's going to be a reverse to Chris Bellin around the right side. He's going to pick up 3, but it's not near enough.
Bellin on the carry.
They'll be playing the field position game now, bringing out the punting unit.
So just a quick fake to the fullback up inside. A little reverse. It's a typical wing tee play. There's 3 or 4 ways they'll run that reverse action. And so we're 4th and 9 now. As you said, it'll be Xander Allen back to punt. For the Ballard Bruins, it looks like number 24, Montez Payton, back to receive, as well as number 8, Paul Mullaney, one of their leading receivers. Allen gets it away. Great punt. Xander Allen driving them back deep. Ball's on the ground. It's loose. It looks like Ballard's jumped on it on the 10-yard line.
That could have been another big turnover.
Especially deep in their own end, Tony, yeah.
Yep.
They'll spot it at the 11-yard line where Ballard will take over. Again, a dangerous situation as Payton was trying to receive the punt. And, again, slippery conditions. Ball squirts right out of his hands. Trent Ferguson was there to make the tackle and almost had an opportunity to jump on the football.
Okay, he's about a step away. Listen, I wonder if Ballard's going to keep putting that pressure on when they play defense.
Well, I think, like you said, they've seen in past weeks that Central Hardin doesn't have much of a passing attack, and they're going to dare them. They're going to stuff it up inside and try to stop the run and dare them to throw it. So, well, here come the Bruins again. Carson Allen, number 16, at quarterback again. And we'll see if the young quarterback, if they're going to give him an opportunity to throw the ball. He's under center this time. Wide receivers to each side. Single back is Farmer. Give over the left side again. He's got space outside. They've got the edge. They're his after about a 9-yard gain and flag.
Flag, maybe a holding out there on the edge.
Well, we see that a lot, don't we, Tony? Whenever you're running those wide plays, someone on the edge trying to keep the contain man from keeping his contained responsibility gets their hands out and holds. That is, in fact, the call.
I wonder if he's gone under center because of that missed snap early on.
Well, again, we saw 2 high snaps and then the mishandled handoff. So in 4 plays, they had 3 that were shaky as can be.
Yep. And that comes with being a freshman, playing in a varsity game. I mean, you can have enough confidence as you want, but you see varsity guys lying across from you and you're a freshman, it's a whole different ball game you're looking at.
So that's going to bring up now a 1st and 15 based on the spot foul and the half the distance to the goal line. Under center again. Allen is going to come back. He's handing to Farmer, and he slips and falls. I don't know if you noticed, Tony, it looked like they were reaching for that handoff as well.
Yep.
I don't know if that's the wet conditions, the quarterback having a hard time running back to get him the ball, but he was stretching, and it looked like Farmer was reaching back to get the ball on his – wasn't on his stomach.
Well, once he even got the ball, it looked like he tried to cut, and as soon as he cut, lost his foot in underneath him.
So as you mentioned pregame, Tony, field conditions already a factor. We've seen the ball on the ground twice. We've seen a slip now, so field conditions are already having an impact on the ball game. 2nd and 15, 2nd and 14, they say.
He's dropped back in shotgun now.
Back in shotgun, high snap
High snap
again. High throw off of Wilkerson's hands.
Pass was intended for Bishop. overthrown.
Wilkerson was a step away from picking that off.
Well, that was number 14, Rashad Bishop, the intended receiver. He was on a slant route, and Wilkerson at corner was behind him in good position. And the ball was overthrown. It was a play-action pass, and they had an opportunity. I think he was open, wasn't he?
He was open across the middle. Just bad snap again.
Yeah. Bad snap again.
You got to reset your feet when you get a bad snap, and then you got pressure coming on you, and you're a freshman. You're dealing with that. That's not a good combination.
Ball may have gotten away from him again as well, a little wet, and it was high, and boy, Dianco Wilkerson had an opportunity to pick that off. So we've got 4 wide receivers now. Allen in the shotgun, Farmer next to him, Mulaney in motion. The defense is adjusting to the trips to the wide side of the field.
We'll let it go
quick
first.
Throw to Mulaney on a quick out. It's not enough.
I think he's just trying to get out of that end zone for that punt.
Probably. It looked like a little pick route where they had 2 slants in the inside receiver, and the trips formation was running a little out route. Good throw. Successful hitting the target that time. Maybe that's something for them to build on. But, boy, Central Hardin, good job. 2 stops now in 2 possessions, and ought to get good field position here.
Yeah, we'll see how their punter does on this.
Yeah, ball handling, again, a factor in the kicking game here. Handles the snap well. It's a good snap. The kick is away. It's a pretty good one. Dianco Wilkerson looking to field. He catches. Getting around to the left side. And he's going to be brought down quickly by number 58, Taryn Hearn, who's one of the leading tacklers for Ballard, and did a good job of running him down. Yeah, well, that was some speed, wasn't it? Whenever you see a 58 on a guy, you shouldn't be running down your return man.
No, I thought he had the edge there for a second, and I saw 58 run down. I was like, oh, my God, that kid's on him.
Well, a lot of, again, team talent. 58, Taryn Hearn. His brother, Terrence Hearn, is the leading interceptor with 3 interceptions on the season, number 4 for Ballard. And so I don't see Terrence on the field right now, but he's obviously had some opportunities earlier in the season. So, again, they're in that 6-3 goal line look. Central Hardin's going to turn and give to Valentine. He's got space over the left side for 6 yards.
It's a good run.
Looked like the fullback trap, Tony.
Yep.
Again, these wing T teams live and die by fullback trap and buck sweep, and then running those reverses, whether it's the scissors or the double handoff, which we probably won't see tonight in wet conditions.
No.
You don't want to be ball handling 2 and 3 times in the backfield on a night like tonight. But Central Hardin running to the line of scrimmage again here quickly. They are on the 40-yard line, 2nd and 4 on the other side of the 50. Sean Hay again going to give to Valentine. Quickly, number 44, that's Justice Thompson. And Tony, I'm told that he is being recruited by the University of Oregon, and that's where he's looking at going. And I expect to see him in the backfield more than once tonight.
Well, even if you look at their cornerbacks are even turned inside, reading run first, over pass.
And in a man look, that is not normal to see. Most teams, the eyes of the corner is going to be right on the receiver they're guarding in man cover. So they're pretty confident, and they're going to try to bow up and stop the run here. And so we've got motion from Bellin, give inside, and there's Valentine. First down. Central Hardin.
Well, you got about 5 out of that one.
Good 5-yard carry for Valentine. And again, they motion to the right to draw the linebacker's attention, run back to the left just off the guard, and very successful play. And we've got our first down for Central Hardin.
Well, when the defense has got their ears pinned back like that, and they're coming at you hard, you get some misdirection or counter plays, you may be able to pop some good runs.
You're testing the eyes of the linebacker. Well, now Sean Hay is in shotgun. And they're showing blitz again. He's looking down the middle of the field.
Oh,
he's got Dianco Wilkerson.
Wide open.
Touchdown!
Bruins.
Central Hardin Bruins. Sean Hay from 34 yards to Dianco Wilkerson. Tony, was a simple seam route.
Yep. Well, their defense was all on the line of scrimmage. Nobody was back there to cover it.
And we just talked about how their defensive backs, even in a man-to-man look, are looking in at the run. They're looking at the quarterback, not eyes on the receivers. And it just cost them.
Well, I guess Central decided, hey, we're going to throw it.
if you're going to look like that.
Yeah, we'll sling it out there. And it was in a spread look, too.
Evan Jones on the attempt.
It was good.
Beautiful-looking kick down the middle. Central Hardin with 4:43 remaining in the first quarter. 7. Ballard Bruins, nothing. And the heavy favorite, Ballard Bruins, off to a slow start. And Central Hardin, who you got to think off of a tough loss would be a big underdog tonight. Well, they're performing nicely, creating turnovers, getting stops on 3 and outs, and not putting one in the end zone.
Sometimes when you play against a team you think you're better in, you kind of play down to your competition, get a little overconfident. Maybe that defense they're running, maybe they shouldn't be running that.
Well, I agree. They probably should be in a little more of a base look. And I guess they're, again, concerned with the run, and it bit them. Again, 7-0 Central Hardin on a big play there. We want to thank our sponsor, Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. So visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900. Online at mugabug.com. And so with 4:43 to go in the first quarter, it'll again be Xander Allen on to do the kickoff duties after Evan Jones knocked through the extra point. I can't see exactly who's back deep. It does look like Elijah Downey on the left. Xander Allen to kick, and he's going to put it on the ground again. It's heading towards the out of bounds, and it will go out of bounds. I don't see the flag, but I'm sure there's one somewhere, and Xander's not too pleased with himself. I have seen him when he kicks the ball really well, Tony. Pick up the tee. He spins it on his finger like a pistol and then holsters it. No holstering that time. He kicked the tee that time as he was coming off the field. Not too pleased with running that ball out of bounds.
Be interested to see what Ballard does right now on offense, being down 7 after having received the ball at the beginning of the game.
It looks like they're searching, doesn't it? They want to just run the football to take the pressure off the young quarterback, but they know they need to throw it. It just looks like they can't figure out what they want to be or do right now. You got to have an identity. You got to know who you are, and right now they don't know who they are without Larry Cummings at quarterback. So 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Turn and give to Jaden Farmer. He's stuffed straight away.
He didn't get
2 or 3 of the Central Hardin D linemen just stuffing that. I see 62 Zach Jones getting up off the bottom of the pile. And interestingly enough, it looked like 22 Trent Ferguson from the safety position.
I mean, he came up for the run.
Pretty quick getting there, isn't it?
Yeah, he was. You would think they maybe try some screens to the outside. Those tall receivers.
Tall, athletic receivers, yeah.
Try to get them open in space and see if they can make something happen.
Well, again, you got Downey out here to the right. You got number 5, Josh Minkins, out here as well, who's one of their top receivers. Allen ready to receive the snap again with Farmer on his left. Give again up inside to Farmer. He's bouncing it to the right. Whoa. And Page is going to bring him. Page is going to bring him down just short of the first down, it looks like.
It's pretty close. He may have got the first down on that. Let me see where they spot that ball. He may have got the first down on that.
Well, we're sitting even with where the football is right now, and that was a very generous spot. His knee hit the ground way back about a half a yard before where they spotted
they gave
it
him the first down on that.
At the 45. They are going to give him the first down.
Look, they're getting in a hurry up here, too.
Yeah, the ball is set, and they're ready to snap. So maybe that's their adjustment. Giving to Farmer straight ahead, and they're pushing the pile. Actually, Central Hardin's going to drive him back. And Zach Jones in on the tackle again.
Trout Jones on the tackle.
It was Zach Jones along with Mason Trout, number 61. So 61 and 62 combining to make that play. And the big offensive linemen of Ballard struggling there to handle Jones and Trout.
Well, they're used to running a balanced offense, and now they've got a freshman back there trying to run the ball every down, looks like.
I'm watching right here. They've got too many men in the backfield right here. They are not on the line of scrimmage.
No, they're not.
18 jumped a little bit. They're throwing a quick hitch route, and it's overthrown.
That should have been a good formation on that play.
Should have been the wide receiver on the far side over there was in the backfield. That was number 14. Rashad Bishop was not lined up right, but not called on it. So it's going to be 3rd and 8. The ball is on the Ballard Bruin 47-yard line. And another big down, a chance for Central Hardin to get off the field.
You see if they go around, I would think they would pass on this play.
3rd and 8, unless they're thinking 4-down territory here. The tendency has been for people to start to go for it more than they used to back in the old days. And we'll see where they are. Mulaney in motion. Allen catches. He is looking for Mulaney down the seam, and it's caught
that was
in
a nice
tight
throw.
coverage.
Pass complete to
That was a nice throw.
Mulaney.
So maybe the young fella's feeling a little better. He threw a hitch route a little high just a moment ago, but a great throw in traffic there. That's dangerous.
Yeah,
Down the middle. Trent Ferguson, the safety, was in coverage along with the linebackers. So 1st and 10 at the Central Hardin 39-yard line. Allen will take the snap, fake, play action, looking deep. He's got 18 open, Downing down the sideline, and it was overthrown.
Quite a bit. He probably could have waited a couple more seconds to throw that. He had a little bit of time on that.
He had good protection. Gavin George in coverage for Central Hardin. He was beat, wasn't he?
Yeah, he could have waited a couple seconds to give some time to get some more steps in there.
Well, Tony and I coach defense together, and as we watch corner get beat deep like that, I'll tell you, Gavin George did not get his hips turned. He did not run with the guy. He was slow getting turned to give chase, and we always worked on that a ton with our DBs. In the shotgun for a 2nd and 10 now. Allen's going to give on the counter play. A lot of space.
It's another first down for him.
So Jaden Farmer, 29, will pick up a first down on about an 11 or 12-yard gain, it appears.
Tackled by Page.
Noah Page on the tackle, number 10. And so, again, having some success in the run, they will continue to probably try to mix the run and pass. I think they're doing a much better job of that now than they did in their first couple of series where they just tried to run the football. The quarterback is leaning. They could have called motion on him there.
Oh.
Near interception by Gavin George. He stuck his foot in the ground and drove on that hitch route really well.
Yeah, he did.
Number 18, Elijah Downing, was the intended target, and the throw was accurate. Probably the fact that it was on the outside shoulder, a good throw, is the reason why George did not pick that off.
Looks like Central's running the cover 2 against him.
That'll be 2 deep safeties and corners playing a little tight on the receivers. It looks like now they're going into a man-to-man look with 1 deep safety against this 2 wide receiver look, and that's what they're doing. They're blitzing and they're bringing pressure and big play.
It looks like the strong safety is spying on the play when he creeps up on the line. Creeps up, so.
Number 29, Farmer on the carry, and Noah Page, number 10. That's about the 3rd time we've called his name. Big tackle for Noah Page.
I think it's Trent Ferguson's spying the play, it looks like.
22, that's the free safety sitting back deep. So it's 23, Chris Bellin at the strong safety, and he's coming up again to play linebacker in this tight end look with just 2 wide receivers instead of 4. It's sprint out to the right, and the ball's dropped again. It's on the ground, and Allen's having to jump on it again.
Central has some really good coverage downfield on that play. Nobody was open.
Nobody open for Allen, and as he brought the ball back, maybe to throw it, just squirt it out again. Now we've seen that, 4 times in about 3 series where ball handling's an issue.
I think that's the 3rd fumble for them now.
3rd fumble for Ballard Bruins, and Central has jumped on it once, and this is going to bring up a 4th and 21, and Ballard will be forced to punt.
Yep.
Gavin George and Deonko Wilkerson back to receive the punt, standing at about their own 10-yard line. Probably coached not to back up. It's over their head. They'll let it go into the end zone, and they're going to fair catch at the 5, Gavin George.
Oh, we got a flag there.
A late hit, I believe, on a Central Hardin player. It may have been Josh Valentine, number 5, throwing a block way after the play.
And in his back as well.
A little dirty, huh? We're looking at each other like we can't believe that we saw that kind of a late play.
We have the old coaching looking at each other.
Yeah, looking, what are these guys doing out here? Well, they've got the ball spotted at about the 7. I thought it was the 5 where Gavin George caught the football, but it'll be half the distance to the goal from there, and that'll really set him up. With 36 seconds to go in the first quarter, we do have Central Hardin's leading 7. Ballard Bruins nothing, but boy, some really tough field position starting at their own 3-yard line. Central Hardin's going to just be trying to get it off the goal line here. Sean Hay under center. He won't be in the shotgun this time. We've got the overloaded backfield to the right. Fullback probably coming straight ahead and they have stuffed that one in the backfield.
It's going to be hard to get out of there. Now having the ears pinned back is a good idea in this situation.
You've got to expect that Central Hardin's going to be running the ball off their own goal line, and they had their ears pinned back and just charging the line of scrimmage.
That penalty really hurt them.
It did.
You had momentum going on your side. You stop them, and then have something silly like that happen.
That was number 6, Jared Casey, for the Ballard Bruins making the tackle. The big linebacker just got downhill in a hurry, attacking the line of scrimmage and hitting Valentine right at the line, and he and his buddies knocked him back. Well, that's the end of one quarter, and at the end of one, Central Hardin Bruins 7, Ballard Bruins nothing. Just going to take a moment here again to thank our sponsors. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. Well, here we are at the quarter, and if you're a Central Hardin fan, as you can hear the band queued up and the fans clapping, good start for the Bruins, for the Central Hardin Bruins, and they're in their all gray tonight. They haven't worn the gray jerseys all year, but they're in their all gray, and they're off to a good start.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that one silly penalty right before the end of the first quarter, I think they'd be in good position. Not good field position, but, get a couple first downs, see what you can do back there, keep the momentum on your side, and now they got to scrape to get out of that end zone.
It opens up the playbook when you've got a little bit of room.
A little bit of wiggle room. I mean, they could have went to shotgun again and maybe went for a pass.
Well, it's going to bring up, as we start the second quarter, a 2nd down and 8. And they're on the left hash. Gavin George is split out to the right. Deonka Wilkerson is in the slot. And Ballard looks like, Tony, they're still in their goal line defense look, all man cover. They are a little looser in man cover. And 24 down here on the bottom is looking straight at the receiver now. A little more respect. It looked like just a quarterback sneak there, but not for much.
44 just cut right through there, that play for Ballard.
2-yard gain, though. It'll bring up a 3rd and 7, maybe a 3rd and 6 from their own 11-yard line. And Central Hardin looking for something to try to extend this drive, try to get out from underneath the shadow of their own goal line here. Clock is ticking at 11:28 to go in the half. We've got wing formation to the left side. Gavin George split to the right. Again, tight man-to-man defensive look. And there's a whistle.
I think they caught Ballard jumping there on the blitz.
Flag on the play. Offsides, encroachment.
There we go.
That's right, Tony. Those guys have been showing blitz a lot in the first series. They got our linemen to jump, scaring them a little bit.
When you get that many guys in the box, you're going to jump sometimes.
That's right, especially when you see big number 44 running at you a little bit there. So offsides on the Ballard Bruins, and boy, a break for Central Hardin. That'll bring up about a 3rd and 1 here. 3rd and a long one, and so this is manageable yardage here. Wing to the left, motion across as Chris Bellin in motion, and quick toss to Deonka Wilkerson. He's got a little space, but he's knocked backwards for a big loss. That'll be a loss of about 2 yards.
A little surprised by that play. Thought they may just do a counter or some kind of misdirection, or just run it up the gut. They only had a couple yards to get.
You only needed a yard or 2, and by going sideways, you gave the speed of Ballard an opportunity to run that down. They did.
That was number 58 again. He just
number 58. Yeah, that's Taryn Hearn, and Taryn was all over that play. So it'll be Xander Allen in his own end zone to field, and back Mullaney and Payton to receive the punt. Allen's just getting it out of there as quick as he can. It's a pretty good punt from your own end zone. Mullaney's going to fair catch at the 40.
That was a smart play to do. You got good field position. Just take what they give you. Bad field conditions. Don't try to be silly.
Smart on both sides. You give yourself, on the Ballard side, like you said, you give yourself good field position. For Allen, I was happy to see he wasn't taking his time back there.
No,
took a couple steps and got it out.
You got to get rid of that.
So Ballard will take over on the Central Hardin 40-yard line. And on the left hash, and again, this is, I think, their 4th possession, and so far no points. 10 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the second quarter, and Allen at quarterback, the freshman, has had some mixed results here. A few really good passes and a few where he's shown his age and maybe the wetness of the conditions. Mulaney's also in the backfield along with Farmer. Give us to Farmer. Straight ahead. He's got space.
He's got space.
One-on-one on Trent Ferguson. He runs through the tackle. Woo!
Farmer. Lee on the tackle.
25, Kyler Lee makes the tackle for Central Hardin. He's our leading tackler at linebacker. And he is, boy, he saved a touchdown on that one.
He did. He had some Olay moments there.
We did. Ran through a few tackles. New running back in for Farmer. It's number 33 for Ballard. High snap again. Give to 33. Straight ahead, it'll be just a couple of yards. Number 33 is Shante Marrero. And so Shante Marrero getting his first action. And a gain of about maybe 3 yards. Look like Zach Jones on. Boy, Zach's having quite a night already. Zach's wearing 62 tonight. He wore 41 the last couple weeks because they were playing him in the wing position on offense and at some tight end, but back in his traditional 62 playing defensive and offensive line. All right, we've got a tight end set with 2 wide receivers. Allen ready for the snap.
Oh, another
ball
bad
is
snap.
Snapped on the ground. Quick out. Intercepted by the Bruins. Number 25 for the Bruins. That's Kyler Lee. He is their leading interceptor with 3 interceptions. Make that 4 interceptions. And young quarterback Carson Allen made a horrible mistake there.
Yeah, he did. He shouldn't have thrown that. He should just ran it after that bad snap. And that wasn't on the quarterback that time. That ball just hit the ground before it even got to him.
So poor snap. Very poor decision. Lee was right between him and the receiver. There was nothing there. Just a nervous moment, it looked like. So Central Hardin will take over on their own 18-yard line, it looks like. 1st and 10 left hash. Sean Hay, we've got wing formation. There's a shift to the right. Everybody's set. Toss sweep to the right. And that is stacked up deep. That's got to be 44, Justice Thompson, the Oregon recruit, showing why he's D1 all the way.
He's been able to get that running to the edge going this game. I think you just have to shove it up the middle and see what you can do.
Well, their success in the running game so far has been up the middle. It has not certainly been sideline to sideline.
Well, they got that pass off. Maybe they'll go back to it. They're still putting their back coming straight at them every play.
So as Tony said, Ballard again, yes, in very tight cover. All of them up at the line of scrimmage. They do have one safety back. He's kind of sitting man-to-man over top of the wing back. Reverse to Chris Bellin. There's space. He's got the edge. Running out just short of the first down. Good tackle on the outside. That was, I believe, number 4, Terrence Hearn, that we talked about earlier.
What even looks like the safety's eyes are on the inside first.
Well, they caught Ballard flying to the ball. Boy, they've been killing us with quick pursuit and a little fake and a little reverse, and we had them going the wrong direction that time. Well, that'll bring up a 3rd and 1 again here, and we'll see. Last time they tried to go wide, and Ballard was all over that, so we'll see what kind of decision Coach Mattingly is going to make here on 3rd down. Noah Page in the game now at wingback. Hay under center. Blitz coming. Give quickly straight ahead. Nothing there.
Valentine on the carry. Casey in on the stop.
Well, that's going to bring up a 4th and 2 after a loss of 1 yard there. And they tried to give to Valentine. And just as you've been saying, they're stacking it up and they're just flying. Their eyes are inside, the defense is. And that was a key matchup for us in the pregame, is this idea that Ballard hasn't given up but 31 points in the last 4 weeks. And they're a tough defensive team. We had one big pass play, but they're holding up right now. Xander Allen back to kick. Punt is away. Another pretty good punt. Toward the left sideline. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 50-yard line, maybe the 49.
Could be interesting to see what they try to do on offense here. They just have not been able to get anything consistent going.
Well, I'd say your 2 most inconsistent players on the Ballard side have been the center and the quarterback.
That's about right.
The center has not done him any favors. Snapping it over his head and at his feet more than half of the snaps.
Yeah, they've been high or short, and
Yeah. So, and then the young quarterback has looked a little nervous, and it looks like he's been struggling to handle a wet football tonight. Empty backfield, 1 tight end and 4 wide receivers.
another high snap.
Number 14, Bishop, and he's
Well,
going
he
to
was
run the
gonna keep
football.
it.
Josh Valentine there to make the first hit. Tackle is made by 61, Mason Trout, and but it's a good gain of about 4.
Mulaney on the carry.
That was a Wildcat look, wasn't it? It was
Yeah, it was.
Mulaney on the carry. I think it was not.
It was number 8.
Yeah, that is Mulaney. That's normally Paul Mulaney, who's a receiver. Well, this is quite a development here. It looks like
And
he's calling the signals as the quarterback.
Back there again. Maybe they
Carson Allen, the freshman, getting an early hook, it looks like, and they are going to have Mulaney. And Mulaney, coaches love this kid. High snap. He's going to be running it around the right side. They're trying to stack him up. And he's going to gain about 3. It'll leave 3rd and 2.
Ballard on the tackle.
Big move early.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Well, we're going to find out. The coaches I talked to pregame, he mentioned specifically
Third down,
Paul
2.
Mulaney, number 8, as being one of their best players. They love the kid. Obviously hasn't played any quarterback, but obviously they've been working on this. They had him as a quarterback or a Wildcat quarterback, but he's in there. We've got 4 wide receivers on a 3rd and 2, and I think he's got Farmer behind him, number 29. Snap is high. Terrible snap, but he gives to Farmer. And that's going to be a first down on a pickup of about 5. Tackles by Lee and by number 60. I think it was 68 for Central Hardin there.
No, it looks like it was 62, Coach.
Oh, 62. Well, that's Zach Jones. That's an easy one. That's one of our top players.
We got an injury there.
Well, there's a Ballard lineman down.
And while he's down, we'll give some shout-outs to our sponsors. This is an HCEC-TV student production, a division of the Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of the RE/MAX Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellulars, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank.
Well, again, we thank our sponsors. And number 71, the center, Collette, is being helped off the field. He's jogging now. A little dinged his left leg. I don't know if it was ankle or knee, but must have gotten rolled up. But Bruins pick up a big 3rd down pickup there on 3rd and 2 on the give to Farmer, and we've got quite a development here. Down 7-0 with 5:20 to go in the second quarter. They've already made a change at quarterback. The freshman, Carson Allen, is out.
It looks like they're going back to
And
that formation again.
The senior, number 8, Paul Mulaney, is going to come onto the field.
I wonder what Coach Manley's fix is going to be to this.
Well, we've got a trips formation for the first time to the left. Looked like they jumped at wide receiver on the right, but good carry over the left side. But it'll be stacked up after about a 4-yard gain. That's Farmer on the carry and Valentine and a number of others on the tackle.
It looked like 23, Chris Bellin wasn't quite in position yet before that snap went off.
It's going to bring up about a 2nd and 7 as the gain. They're going to mark it as a 3-yard gain. Ballard has the ball 2nd and 7 at the Central Hardin 34-yard line. Again, we've got a tight trips this time. And Mulaney at quarterback, he's probably going to run this ball to that tight trip side, and there he goes. They've got them outflanked and outnumbered over there on the side. Great tackle by the corner, Gavin George, coming up.
So would you call a timeout here, Coach, and readjust the defense for this look?
Well, that particular look, you will need to probably slide your front to it a little bit so you're not outflanked like that. Whenever you've got a tight trips look, it really is like you've got a tight end and 2 other blockers outside there. And obviously with Mulaney at quarterback, they're looking to run the football. They're not looking to throw the ball here.
No,
he may put one up here, but they're going to be looking to run the ball. And it looks like they are in a tighter look now. And great play by Zach Jones. Farmer caught in the backfield deep. That was Zach Jones, 62, and number 35, who's not on our roster. All right, nice job, 3-5. Not on the roster, number 35 for Central Hardin.
Got a timeout for
Ballard
Ballard right
calls their
now.
second
Well, that's going to
timeout.
bring up a 4th down and 4 on the Central Hardin 31. What do you do if you're a Ballard coach,
Well, it looked like
Adrian Morton?
they were doing an option play there on that last down. When 8 was reading that,
zone read.
doing that read there. So maybe they go back to that and see if they can catch Central off guard with that.
Well, I think Coach Mattingly did make an adjustment, like you were wondering, Tony. They had one deep safety. They were blitzing. It was a man coverage look. Anytime you run man, you're probably looking to blitz. They brought blitz 35 for Central Hardin, came running through. 62, Zach Jones beat the blocker and got to Jordan Farmer right away. So it did look like some sort of read option. So Paul Mullaney at quarterback is going to give them a different look. Maybe not looking to throw it. And as you said, I think Coach Mattingly adjusted.
When it looked like the defensive line slid to the strong side that time, where the receivers were bunched up at.
Well, good play, good move, and brings up a really big down here with 3:25 to go in the half. Central Hardin can get a stop here. They can run it down and get in at halftime ahead. So big down. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Mulaney snap it. Look at that one-handed catch by the quarterback. Quick out to the right, and an easy throw to the flat and a completion.
Just when we said they may only throw like once.
That's
right.
Once. Number 30, Keaton Goebel is the receiver. Just a very short 2-yard throw to the outside, a very easy throw. And, this Mullaney kid who's a senior, who's a receiver, he's handling those bad snaps easily.
Yeah, when you got an athlete back there, you can make things happen.
1st and 10, Ballard. He's going to take the snap and run it to the
again.
left side. He's got some room. He's got the edge and slips and falls after maybe a 7 or 8 yard gain, 6 yard gain maybe.
And those receivers are doing a good job blocking on the edge there.
Well, it's important. If you're going to start running the football, you've got to get good blocks on the outside, especially on a play like that. We've just got a wildcat look quarterback sweep. As we're saying, Central Hardin's trying to adjust to this new look with the new quarterback. And Mullaney is having some success running the ball.
What gives you 10 guys blocking?
It does. Usually you only have 9 with the quarterback giving it to somebody else. But, yeah, Mullaney takes the snap, gives it to Farmer this time. He's got room around the side, but Noah Page stuffed that in a hurry.
I'm surprised they didn't get a late hit by Mullaney himself. He laid his shoulder in the back of one of the defensive players of Central into that play.
Looks like they picked up about a yard. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5. Another big down. They're going to spot the ball at the Central Hardin 20-yard line. And Mullaney's trotting back on the field after getting the call. 3rd down and 5 with 2:40 to go in the second quarter. Snap is high again. Give to Farmer. And stacked up.
Well, they may have stopped him just before he got there.
That time it was, in fact, for Central Hardin, number 68, Dylan Butterworth, who was the first one to wrap Farmer up around his ankles. It's going to bring up a 4th and 3, and as they've gone to a more run-heavy offense, Central Hardin seems to be adjusting.
Less to worry about.
And that's what Ballard's doing, obviously. They're pinning their ears back and daring them to throw.
Oh, they're going for a field goal.
Well,
here.
Jacob Halliday, who's the kicker, number 35 for Ballard, is coming out. He'll be spotted. It'll be spotted at the 25. 35-yard attempt. The referees are not in position.
Oh,
the ball is
Nick
kicked.
blocked it.
The ball's still loose and being kicked toward the 50-yard line. It's still loose. And it'll be down there. Central Hardin's going to get great field position. The ball never got off the ground. I don't know if it was blocked as much as it was kicked to the feet of everyone. So Halliday struggled. The ball didn't get down well, and he
is skittered to the placeholder.
Bad snap again. They are struggling. I don't know if this is has been a problem for them all year, if it's just a ball handling issue with the wet turf.
You would think they'd have it down. They're printing the spread.
You would expect them to be doing this week in and week out. They've got a experienced senior center, 71, Collette. But Central Hardin is going to be, again, still ahead 7-0, 1:33 to go. They may take a shot here at some point in this series. They're going to fake it, and down the middle. Noah Page wide open, but there's too much pressure. Sean Hay is going to be sacked for a 10-yard loss. Noah Page, 15 yards behind anybody, running the same seam route that Deonko Wilkerson scored on.
Well, you got the middle of the field's wide open because all the linebackers are coming full speed at you.
I'm looking in the secondary, and there's a lot of pointing and talking amongst themselves for the secondary and linebackers at Ballard, wondering who in the heck's supposed to be guarding that guy. Because he ran, if Sean had been able to set his foot and just let the ball go, which, again, he couldn't. He had two guys wrapped around his leg. But, boy, there was 6 points written all over that one. I thought they'd take a crack at it, and they did, and it didn't quite work out. Wilkerson in motion, 2nd and 20. Jumped off sides again.
With that man coverage, you've got open spots if you can get the throws off.
Well, anytime there's a blitz man package like that, you've got to get it out quick. The young quarterback, Sean Hay, he's not young, he's a junior, but he's only played quarterback for 5 weeks. Just doesn't understand that concept, right, that you can't stand back there. And if you can just set your foot and take the hit and let the ball go, you've got an opportunity for 6 points.
Yeah, you do.
Well, after the 5-yard penalty, that brings up a 2nd and 25 from their own 32.
Like they're just gonna end this thing here.
Going the wrong way, but the clock is running down. They're in the shotgun here. Trips to the left. Not sure what they're going to try to do here. Behind the chains with only a few seconds. It's going to be a give to Wilkerson around the left side. Breaks one tackle. Down he goes.
Downing on the tackle of Wilkerson.
That'll be the last, though. It won't be the last play of the half. There's a timeout called. Looks like Ballard is going to decide to go ahead and call time. I don't know if they're going to – it's going to bring up a 3rd down here. I don't know if they'll call a timeout again and try to get force a punt. But
they probably bring everybody up on this punt.
Well, this is
try to block the
down.
kick.
Yeah, if they can stop Central one more play and then force that, they may go for a big play. And I'm seeing umbrellas opening, Tony, everywhere, and I'm looking up and the rain is starting to come down.
Too.
So we've had a break from the rain, but it is back and it's in full force.
3rd down, 23 for the Bruins.
Well, with Ballard snaps, that may be a good thing for Central the rest of this game.
Well, it looks like Central Hardin is in victory formation. Ballard has some deep safeties, like they're expecting a deep throw. They call timeout, so I expect them to call timeout again after this down snap. Nope. So there's a phantom timeout. I'm not sure what the point of it was because Ballard will go in at halftime. Central Hardin leading at the half. Central Hardin 7 and Ballard nothing. Back to our sponsors here. We want to again thank Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results, with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Ryan Harris of RE/MAX Premier Properties. For all of your real estate needs, contact Ryan at 270-723-4626, and he'll get the job done.
All right, we got Bluegrass Sailor offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere. Her wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Exterminating 737-6900. Online at mugabug.com. And West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help you make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple.
Well, that's the half, and again, Central Hardin 7, Ballard nothing, and we'll see you later for the second half.
Welcome back from our HCEC-TV Live Sports. I'm here with one of our outstanding sports sponsors. They've been with us for many, many years. It's E-Town Exterminating, and joining me is Sean Rich, and he is the CEO of E-Town Exterminating. You all just celebrated a huge milestone just recently. Talk about that, Sean.
Yes, July 1976 was when my father, Roy Rich, started our company. And this year we celebrated our 40th anniversary. In doing so, we had a meal out at Freeman Lake, and we invited a lot of people in the community, and we had a big celebration.
Now, for those that may not know, what are all the services that E-Town Exterminating provides?
Well, we have 3 different divisions. We have pest control, termite, and mold management. In pest control, we have monthly services, we have bi-monthly and quarterly. And we can even do just a one-time service if that's what the customer wants. And in the general pests, we take care of like crickets, spiders, ants, etc. And then we also have bed bug services, which is a different type of service. And then in termite, we have liquid barrier services. And then our popular service is Centricon Colony Elimination System. And that's where we put the green stations around the house. And it has a material inside of it that the termites will feed off of. And they take that insect growth regulator back to the colony and it'll eliminate the colony. And then the mold management service, we have a monthly service for that.
I was going to say moles are the death of many people.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
What do you think is the key to your success at E-Town Exterminating?
I think our huge success is we put the customer first, we provide a very good service, and then also we give back to the community. And I think that's been 3 really key elements of our success.
So for 40 years, you started with how many people? How many employees did Roy have?
We started with 3 employees, and now we employ 29.
That's a great economic impact for our community too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Why do you feel it's important to be a community sponsor?
Well, just like high school athletics, we see a need in these programs. With my children participating in varsity sports, I know, and also a booster rep for five years, I know that there's not a lot of money that's there for those kids. And we want to make this a special moment for them. Every kid should be able to go in and have good equipment and be able to travel and go to a lot of different events. And we want to be able to be a part of that.
Now, earlier we were talking about some of your sports memories, right? Mm-hmm. You were an athlete, and talk about those things. I mean, how important it is to see the fans, to be appreciated, and how that encourages you.
Well, I at E-Town High School, I ran cross country, I ran track, and also I played basketball. So I know the difference between a individual sport and a non-revenue sport, and also where we have a lot of fans. And so looking at what I went through and all the joy that I had, and looking back and all the different players and athletes that I was able to play with, I see those special bonds that I still have here today. And so I feel like that when you play for your school and you have fellow student athletes that play alongside of you, you're going to have those special relationships.
Well, I know it really does support us. Your sponsorship, without that and without the other sponsors on HCEC-TV Live Sports, we couldn't do our 80 events a year.
Right.
And I really do think it means a lot to those athletes.
And I appreciate you and HCEC-TV and Brandenburg Telecom for allowing us to go along with this ride, because we feel like this is a unique opportunity for student athletes to be on live TV and allowing the viewers out there to see these girls and boys to be able to go out and play for their schools. And I remember years ago when Brandenburg Telecom came to me about a sponsorship on this, I was like, sign me up, because we wanted to give back that way.
I was going to say, it has so much impact. I'll have parents tell me that their grandparents were able to watch it, and that lived out of state. Of course, we have a strong military, so therefore they're some of them can watch it in a distance, and so it really does mean a lot to the community. So I really want to, first off, I want to appreciate you for doing that.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, besides Elizabethtown, you're not just E-Town Exterminating.
No. We cover 8 different counties, but our core emphasis first is Hardin County, and then LaRue and Meade County.
Awesome. And again, if someone would like to get in touch with you and your services, how can they do that?
Well, they can call us directly at 270-737-6900, or they can visit our website at www.mugabug.com.
I was going to say that's an easy moniker to remember, that mugabug.com.
Yes.
When individuals call you, the other nice thing is they actually speak to a person.
Yes, we have 3 lovely ladies that answer our phones at E-Town Exterminating, and they'll take care of your needs.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Sean, for joining us. And we want to thank all of our live sports sponsors for bringing HCEC-TV and Brandenburg Telecom's live sports coverage. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you again, Sean.
Well, thank you very much.
Hello and welcome to this special session in which we are going to greet one of our outstanding sponsors with our HCEC-TV live sports coverage. In addition to Brandenburg Telecom, we have one of our longest partners with Physical Therapy Associates. And I think they've been with us practically day one. So joining us is Beth Vessels, who is a physical therapist at PTA. And also we've got a new person with us today, Kyle Odom. And he is a licensed athletic trainer as well as a performance enhancement specialist. Now that's a long title for the job that you do, but I know you do many jobs. So first we'll begin with, let's talk about Physical Therapy Associates, its history, and how it's grown through the number of years.
Yeah, definitely. So it first opened in 1997 in Elizabethtown, and since then it has grown to having multiple locations. So we have Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Hodgenville, Bardstown, Louisville, and our newest clinic is in Brandenburg.
Now, are all full-service PTA sites?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Talk about the elemental services that you may provide.
Yeah, so we see a lot of people, and we range from orthopedic conditions, shoulder pain, back pain, neck pain. We help people that have had total joint replacements, and we help with athletes as well. We kind of run the full gamut of physical therapy services for people.
And some of those services are specialized, so talk about some of those.
Right, so we provide treatments such as ASTEM, which is a type of massage we do with tools to help facilitate healing. We also do several different types of taping. As you can see, Kyle has some on his arm here. And we do something called dry needling as well, which is relatively new in physical therapy practice. But
what does it do? Just to explain to the audience.
Yeah, so we've seen a lot of really good results with it, especially neck pain, back pain. And what it does is we take a thin filament needle and we work within the muscles of the body to help try to relax them, to relax the trigger points there. And it really helps people that have type of myofascial pain and long-term pain syndromes.
Awesome. Now, Kyle, you're new to this studio taping here. You also are new to the business. You've been there a couple of years, but that doesn't mean you've been involved with what you do for a number of years. So tell us a little bit about what you do at PTA.
Yeah, well, most athletic trainers are, facilitated with the sports programs and stuff. And then a few of us get to be in the clinic setting. And so that's what's really nice is I get the clinic setting, so I don't necessarily have to work those hours of covering the games and stuff. But what's really great in my role in the clinic is I get to kind of further our rehab. So I get to take those upper level rehabs, our ACLs, a lot of the athletes that really need to go to the next level and have a good transition back into their sport. I get to make that transition easy and seamless, and just kind of they're able to jump right into their sport once they leave us. And so that's really helpful considering how competitive we are in our area, just our community with sports. We have so many people going to the next level, and we're able just to give them that competitive edge and get back to their sport. So
that's amazing. Now, those at home, you may see what you think might be a tattoo on Kyle's arm, but it's actually a service, a treatment. So talk about that.
Yeah, so this is kinesio tape. Actually, the Olympics now, you'll probably see a ton of athletes with the kinesio tape on, a lot of different colors. And we actually I got certified last year, and we actually just had a whole bunch of them get certified this past weekend. But yeah, the one that I have on now is a lymphatic taping, so it helps with the swelling and trying to get all that debris out of the system, and we love it. In conjunction with everything that we offer, the tape allows us just at the beginning of our rehabs, and also when they leave. So when they leave, it's like we get to keep our hands on them as they leave. So everything that we have done for them, it just stays with them until they come back to us. So we get a lot of benefits from it, whether it's pain management or facilitation with the muscles or getting those muscles just to relax. We are able to do that with just our taping. So it has definitely been an asset to us.
You also have a new facility located at your Woodland Drive site. Talk a little bit about that, because that goes hand in hand with our sports athletes.
Yeah, actually it's all one building now. So we have just added a 90 by 60 foot, a 5,000 square foot building that's all turf. So we got a 35-yard turf section, and it is essential for getting our athletes where they need to be. So we can do running and sprinting, we can do all kinds of power and just a lot of that transitional stuff, and really help those rehabs. So again, it's great because where before, our rehabs would stop at a certain point, and we would say, okay, this is as far as we can get you, go back to the field, and they have so much hesitancy and, really not sure. Now we take that away. Now when they leave us, they are ready to go. We have carried them through the rehab process so much so that, all they're really lacking is some of that sport-specific endurance, which, we can't necessarily offer. But it's so great because they've got space to move around. We had Nathan Adcock that came in, and we got to do his throwing progression. It's big enough to do a full throwing progression with Tommy John. And so that is such a big asset, again, to our community, because there's nothing like it. And there's nowhere that has a physical therapy clinic that has that to offer. And so, yeah, it's very essential to what we do. And again, it provides more space for our other patients, but especially for our athletes.
That's awesome. That is awesome. One thing that I want to tell our audience at home, that these two young people are graduates of the Hardin County Schools. Kyle graduated from John Hardin High School, and Beth, you graduated from Central Hardin.
Central, yes.
And so great products of the Hardin County School System. We really want to thank you so much again for sponsoring our sports coverage. Beth, just why do you feel it's important for PTA to give back to the community?
We love helping people in the community, and so that's our patient population, and so we just enjoy to be able to give back to those people who allow us to help them to recover from whatever injuries they do have.
Well, and I know that with therapy, people can get back to their normal life faster, quicker. The specialties that are involved now, oh my goodness, I mean, it really can be a quick turnaround and really enhance your quality of life. Definitely. So for individuals that would like to get additional information about PTA, what do they need to do, Beth?
So anytime they can call our clinic, 270-234-1569. They can visit us on the web too. And as far as if it's a patient, some insurances require a doctor's referral to come, but some don't. Kentucky's a direct access state for physical therapy, so some insurances you don't have to have a doctor's referral. So just check with your insurance company and see if they need that or not.
Great. And Kyle, do you know the website address for PTA?
physicaltherapyky.com.
Great. So make sure you check out Physical Therapy Associates of Elizabethtown. They're located all over the area now. And again, those locations, Beth?
So we have Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Bardstown, Hodgenville, South Louisville, and our newest clinic in Brandenburg.
Awesome. And there's multiple services at all of those locations. Thank you again for sponsoring live sports coverage with HCEC-TV, and we look forward to working again with you all this year.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Welcome back to a exciting second half of action here at Central Hardin High School. Just a quick recap of the first half. A lot going on in a 7-0 game. It doesn't sound exciting, but a lot of exciting action. The home team, Central Hardin Bruins, are leading the Ballard Bruins 7-0 here. And again, getting ready to start the second half. We've seen several fumbles turnovers, an interception, a fumble recovery by Central Hardin as they're leading the turnover battle. Tony speculated here that the wet weather could cause some ball handling issues, and certainly that has been the case tonight, and Central Hardin has taken advantage of that. A long touchdown pass from Sean Hay to Deonko Wilkerson, and we have Central Hardin 7 and Ballard nothing. Quite a surprise. Ballard would have come in as a heavily favored team after a very close loss to Trinity. Just one moment here. Hey, guys, I want to run the clock. Clock's stuck. All right. Sorry, the clock was not running to get the second half started, and we're helping get the clock going here. We've got 2:54 until the kickoff will occur, but again, coming off of a close loss to Trinity, one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the state. Ballard, I think, expected to come in here and win big, and they started their third-string freshman quarterback, number 16. Allen was his name, and they've already gone away from Allen in favor of Carson Allen, in favor of Paul Mullaney, who's a senior receiver. And so this is Paul Gray alongside me, Tony Menendez. Tony, what do you think are the keys to the second half?
Well, Central is starting with possession of the ball. I think if they could just set up some inside running again, that seam route seems to just be open because of how they're playing defense against Central with Ballard. They're just bringing it every down. They just are daring Central to try to throw it, and when they did, they got a touchdown out of that. I think the field conditions will be a big key. The center has not been in rhythm at all for Ballard. I mean, he is snapped high, snapped low. I mean, the ball's been all over the place. I mean, there's been a couple of chili peppers. I mean, until they got that senior in there to catch it up above his head. I wonder if they'll bring the freshman back in to start the half, or if they'll just keep that Wildcat going. It'll be interesting to see what Ballard does, see if their defense goes back to some sort of a base formation, out of that 6-3 goal line look in the second half. But I think it started raining again, so it looks like it's slowed down now. But, I mean, the field's not getting any drier, and it's a mess in some spots. I mean, you can see some browning in sections that weren't there at the beginning of the game for sure.
So as field conditions deteriorate, as Tony said, it's already been a big factor, the wet conditions and ball handling. The rain is falling. It's maybe more of a mist than a driving rain, but it is wet. It's going to cause the field conditions and the ball handling to be difficult. Again, it will be interesting to see who can take care of the football. That's probably a key here. And it'll be interesting, as Tony mentioned, to see what's going to happen as far as the quarterback position is concerned for the Ballard Bruins. Now, I wanted to bring up here, we've got kind of a light crowd. We had big senior night festivities before the game with a lot of families and a crowd here. The band has now exited. We want to wish them luck because they, in the morning, are leaving for their state championship in Lexington. So good luck to the Bruin band. They did a nice little concert. They didn't go on the field. Wet conditions and their equipment would have caused a little bit of damage to the field tonight, and they've got it all packed up anyway. They're ready to head to their state championships. So they played a nice little concert up here in the stands. They have now exited. They're going to be heading to their state championships in the morning. They're getting ready for that. On the Bruins side of the field, the Ballard Bruins side of the field, not very many fans. It's a cold, wet night, and only the bravest and hardiest of fans are here this evening. So Ballard ready to kick off. And the ball is another squib kick along the ground. Gavin George looking to field it at his 15-yard line. Got room around to his right. He's got space, and he's got a blocker in front of him. Makes one man miss, and he's down over the midfield to about the 42-yard line of Ballard. Big return to start the second half.
They try to squid it, but it got a little healthy bounce in Central's direction to the return man, able to do a little something with that ball.
Well, usually squib kick, that's right. You want it to be hard to handle, and you want someone who's not the best athlete on the field to get the ball, and that's not what happened. Gavin George is the most elusive player probably on Central Hardin's team, and he made the most of that one. So the Central Hardin Bruins will take over with great field position on the 43-yard line of the Ballard Bruins, and they've got one back and two wides to the left. Got a still man cover, but it's much looser man cover on the Ballard side. Straight head give to Valentine, and he'll get about a yard.
I think 44 is just coming every down. That Justin Thompson, he just blitz every down. Like, we're just going to give him A gap, A gap, A gap, B gap, B gap, B gap. He's just coming every play.
Justice Thompson, the Oregon University recruit who has been in the backfield much of the first half, as Tony's mentioning, he was in a hurry to meet Josh Valentine at the line of scrimmage there. Actually, no gain on the play. It'll be second down and 10 from the Ballard 43-yard line. This time we'll see in the shotgun, Wilkerson to the right, George to the left, and motion Wilkerson across the formation. Sprint to the left. Protection's not bad. Throw to the left and not anywhere near the intended receiver.
And they didn't bring it that time. They sat back in the zone and looked like they are making adjustments themselves. Maybe they're thinking maybe we can't just bring it every time against this team.
A little more of a loose coverage look there from Ballard, and did a good job of getting underneath the routes. Had a lot of guys in coverage there. Tough throw running to the left for a fairly new quarterback. It didn't seem to make a lot of sense to try to make a difficult throw on the run to the left for the right-hander. So Sean Hay now back under center on 3rd and 10. Nothing doing on the first 2 downs. And again, you see a safety a little bit deeper at about 12 yards now. Reverse to Wilkerson. Nothing there. He makes one man miss, and he's just going backwards.
And that's where that athleticism from Ballard comes into play. I think if you try to get to the outside, it's just going to be hard going unless you really catch them by surprise. But they look like they were bringing a blitz on that down. And
well, that was number 19, Carter Ness, and number 44, Justice Thompson in the backfield for Ballard. And, yeah, he made one man miss, did Deonko Wilkerson, but that big loss is going to bring up a 4th down and 17 from the about midfield. Xander Allen back to punt. Motion across the formation in the punt. They are resetting the front. Timeout Ballard. It concerned them that from midfield, maybe Central Hardin would fake that on 4th and 17.
That's a pretty big fake, though.
Pretty big fake. You might expect it from midfield. It does give you an opportunity to recover if you don't get it and maybe get a stop. But it certainly concerned Ballard, and they're going to take a timeout here. During the timeout, I'd like to remind everyone to tune in weekly for rebroadcasts of all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2, as well as Spectrum Communications on Channel 184. We want to give a special thanks to our HCEC-TV crew and those young people who are behind the cameras tonight. Much thanks to them. We're very thankful that they can get this valuable experience in their educational process of working behind the camera in the technical support area here on our broadcast. So, again, Xander Allen back to punt. And
I really just think Central slid somebody in for better protection. They don't want to have a bad snap here on this punt and a bad punt go off. And
a little high, but a good catch, Xander Allen. Great
That's
punt.
A great kick.
Running inside the 10. It's going to be right at about the 10 down there. And so I believe that was Gabe Ramirez downing the punt. But
Xander Allen skipping off the field. He's happy with that punt.
Tony Xander's quite a character, and as I told you before, if he makes a good kick, he likes to spin the tee and
skipping all the way down the
put it
sideline.
on his put it in his holster. He skipped off the field after that great punt of about 41 yards, and so good punt, Xander, and I hope you enjoyed your skip to the sideline. Well, Ballard will take over here, and it is number 16, Carson Allen, the freshman, back at quarterback. Maybe they've made some adjustments. They're ready to go back to the freshman. The rain has stopped. And 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. The give is to Farmer.
He's going
Farmer
nowhere.
Stuck in the backfield and hung on to 62 again, Zach Jones, and I believe it was also 61, Mason Trout. So those two have been have been beast in the backfield for Central Hardin. Mason Trout and Zach Jones having a heck of a day. Defensive lineman Dylan Butterworth has had a pretty good night as well. But usually those defensive linemen are eating up blockers, Tony, and the linebackers go make plays. But tonight it's been those defensive linemen getting off blocks, and they're in a 3-man front. And those 3 guys are wreaking havoc. So 4 wide receivers, trips to the right.
Looks like they're bringing a blitz.
Allen going to throw the screen you're waiting for. Bad throw on the ground.
I don't think he had much time. 23 was
Chris Bellin
was blitzing there on the outside.
And so the pass was intended from Paul Mullaney, who had moved to quarterback in the last set. They're going to say it was a completed pass. It was low on the turf. Mullaney caught it, but he's laying on the ground, and it's a 2-yard loss on the screen pass. We were waiting for the screen, and you got to make an accurate throw if you're going to run it.
Yep.
3rd and 12.
This is a big down for the Bruins here if they can get a stop here and get some really good field position.
It is key to pin your opponent back so you can get field position, keep that field position at midfield or better. Allen's going to take the snap with 4 wide receivers, looking down the sideline to the right, looking deep. Caught!
That was just.
And that's going to be a touch. Oh,
we'll see.
Trent Ferguson trying to run him down, but it looks like number 18, Elijah Downing, touchdown. Ballard Bruins, 92 yards for the touchdown.
And that's
Carson Allen to Elijah Downing.
There's not much you can do about that. That was good coverage by the cornerback. He was in position to make a play, but sometimes you just get out athlete on that catch and going to take out that pass. The receiver pulls it down, is able to get separation afterwards and go down the field and score.
What looked like to me, Tony, it was number 9, Talon Ferris. Talon has played some defensive back, but he plays a lot in the against slot receivers. He got matched up one-on-one on the 6'4" Elijah Downing, who is a Division I prospect, and all of the 6'4" was used to go up and take the ball. Like you said, Talon had great coverage, and the receiver just went up and took it, and then slipped out of his grasp. Talon had a hold of him, trying to bring him down. Couldn't get it done. 92-yard touchdown. That'll give Carson Allen a little bit of confidence, I would think.
Yeah, it's just one of those tough situations as a cornerback, making that decision. Do I just go for the tackle or try to stop the reception? And it's just hard to do. Short-term memory.
That's right. Well, we've only got 8:19 to go, so we're just under 4 minutes into the third quarter here, and Ballard picked up a big play here. Again, you were talking about how this 3rd and 12 was such a big down, get the ball back. That was just turned on its ear as the 92-yard pass to Elijah Downing, the 6'4" stud wideout for the Ballard Bruins. He adds to his total with his 5th touchdown of the season. And you can see why D1 coaches are drooling over Elijah Downing.
We'll see if they open up the offense some more for the freshman, give him some chances to take some shots. If he's just sitting back there gun-shy the whole game, that does nothing for you.
Well, you wondered if it might affect his confidence getting yanked in the first half, but
maybe they had a good talking to him.
Maybe I made a tough, kind of a bad throw on 2nd down, but that throw was on the money, high for his tall receiver to go get. Well, it's going to be Jacob Halliday to kick off 35, and he's going to pooch it this time. And it's in a tough spot to handle, and it's rolling around. Gavin George will pick it up, looking for space, but this time they're going to bring him down at about the 24, 25-yard line. Much more successful on that kickoff.
Yeah, but just bouncing, just kind of stuttered there for a minute before he could go pick up that ball.
Ball kind of died in the mud, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
A little bit of backspin, and the Bruins will take over at their own 25 on the left hash. We'll see if they can answer from the early second half score. Ballard tying this thing back up. The extra point was good. It is 7-7, and Hay will come back onto the field 1st and 10 from his own 25.
They going back to the wing tee, back under center here.
Deonka Wilkerson is the wing back to the right. The give is going to be around the right side. Not much space. Again, this Ballard defense is stacked up to stop the run, and it'll be no gain. Number 9 comes out of the pile with the ball. That's Brendan Mullaney. That's Paul's brother, who's been the star on the offensive side of the ball, one of the stars for Ballard. But that ball, the running back was down well before the ball came loose.
Gain of 1.
Well, the only thing different there, they're saying 2nd and 9. It looks like it's at the same spot. It was, but on the 25-yard line. But on the right hash now, we've got one back and two wings. Tight end to the right side. Hay ready to take the snap. He's going to drop back to throw, and he's got Noah Page. Oh, my goodness, 6 points if it's not overthrown. Just out of the reach of Noah Page, and there it was again.
We talked about that during the halftime break. If they could hit that seam route, it is wide open every time, it looks like.
So straight down the seam. It's just wide open right down the seam there. We again had an opportunity for the Central Hardin Bruins to maybe strike right back immediately. Overthrown by maybe a yard, just over the fingertips of tight end Noah Page. And so 3rd and 9 now for Central Hardin. They've got their wing back formation to the right. Fake. This is going to be the waggle pass. It's thrown in the flat to Josh Valentine.
He's going to get the first down on that one, too.
Valentine on the carry.
We just talked about that, too, so if they could get that waggle off.
Well, we talked about that at half. Tony and I did. The waggle pass is a little bootleg out of the wing T formation. The wide receiver's running a corner route, and the fullback is in the flat. Well, that was Josh Valentine, fullback in the flat. We were concerned, could they get that off with the big blitz that we're seeing, because it takes some time to develop that play. Yeah, so they were able to, and Sean did a good job of avoiding the rush and finding Valentine in the flat. 1st down and 10 from their own 37-yard line. We've got a flag down before the snap.
Flag on the play.
See what this is.
Encroachment against Ballard.
Perhaps that they're wanting an attack. And you want to attack, that sometimes causes you to get some penalties in there.
Well, when Tony and I coached defense here at Central, we had our linebackers attacking the line of scrimmage and playing games, jumping in and out, trying to frustrate and confuse the offense. But you can jump off sides when you're doing that, and they've done it about 3 times here. Ballard has 1st and 5 now for the Bruins, and they're going to give straight ahead to Valentine. And, man, I think Ballard knew what was coming there, and he may have gotten the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they brought everything on that play. I think only one corner safety dropped back. Everything else was coming full steam ahead.
And it looked like they were all stacked up right there in the A or B gap where Josh was trying to run the football. So 4 or 5. I know I saw number 58 again, Taryn Hearn in there, along with about 5 or 6 of his teammates to put Valentine, to stop Valentine. So 2nd and 5.
Team tackle there.
Yeah, we've got an overloaded formation to the right here. The backs to the right, the wing to the right. And they're bringing heat again, and I think Wilkerson may have jumped this time. We've got offsides on the Bruins, Central Hardin Bruins.
Well, that'd be false start.
False start on the offense. So, whatever advantage they had gained at 2nd and 5 is now 2nd and 10. And this wing T attack that is so run heavy is behind the chains. You've got to keep moving the ball forward to be successful in this attack. And so at 2nd and 10, we'll see what Coach Mattingly could dial up here.
If they could get a hard count on this, they maybe just get it back. They're just pressing so hard.
Get a cheap penalty. It could be just what the doctor ordered. They're gonna again run play action pass. Sean Hay's going to keep it this time, and he is stuffed just behind the line of scrimmage.
Hay on the keeper.
When Sean came out, the defensive end was right in his face immediately, and he just turned it up. He never looked downfield.
And that's the thing with the play action. If the other team can just get in there so fast that you can't do much about it, there is no play to that action. It's just
because they're coming anyway.
They're hitting.
They're not. It's not like you faked them out on the run. They were going to be trying to stop the run anyway. And again, he's got his back to the line for a good 2.5 seconds. He's making the fake. So when he turns around, he's got guys in his face. 3rd and 10. One wide out to the left, wing to the left. Give straight ahead. Valentine's got space.
And it looks like he got
first down, Central Hardin.
They played back that time and didn't bring the blitz. I guess they assumed Central's going to go for the pass. And that's the first time I haven't seen 44 with a head full of steam coming straight through the line of scrimmage.
So they sat back in coverage that time on 3rd and 10 and guessed wrong.
Yep.
And they hit a little fullback trap straight ahead. You saw a nice seam created by the trap block, and Valentine with a gain of about 14. The ball is right at midfield. 1st and 10 Central Hardin. We've got 2 wide receivers to the left. Hay under center. He's going to have play action pass again, looking downfield, nothing there. And it looks like he's going to be brought down for about a yard loss.
Quarterback sack.
Looking kind of dangerous. They were smacking at the ball as he's standing in the pocket.
Yep.
Assisted by
Sean did a good job, strong hands to hang on to the football as he was being tackled, as he was being brought down in the backfield.
Looks like he just maybe just lost a yard on that about.
So it'll go down as a sack, a yard loss there. Again, a lot of pressure in a hurry, not much of an opportunity to scan downfield to find receivers. It'll bring up a 2nd and 11 from their own 49-yard line. Valentine right behind Hay. 2 wings. And it's going to be sweep to the left. It's like jet sweep, and they can't get the corner. 23, Chris Bellum was trying to get a block to spring him and couldn't do it.
Carry, no gain.
It's just hard to get outside on that team. They're just so quick to get to the ball.
Brings up 4th down. 3rd down and 11.
3rd and 11, it looks like.
3rd and 11 from the 49-yard lines at the left hash, and Sean Hay returning back to the field after getting the call. They do have their quarterback sometimes shuttle his own play. Get a little bit of exercise in tonight, running back and forth from the sideline. So from the left hash, they'll be in the shotgun. Trips to the left, motion. Gavin George to the right. He's got a man-to-man look over here.
And they're spreading out. And
Boy,
they look like they got
so
confused. And he's got him. Oh! And he had him open. Mike Backer tripped on his own feet trying to backpedal there.
Well, again, the 4th time they've run the seam route. This time right off the fingertips of Noah Page. Maybe an opportunity to catch it. Slightly overthrown. A lot of pressures. Number 44, again, Justice Thompson was blitzing in Sean Hay's face. Pretty good throw. Just barely didn't connect. Anytime and every time they've run that, they've been wide open. They hit it for a touchdown once, overthrown twice, and sacked on the other occasion. So just not an opportunity to make that thing connect.
I think they can get maybe a second more back there. That's a touchdown. And if you looked at the defense at Ballard, they just looked completely confused all across the middle there. You got guys tripping over each other and people not knowing where they were supposed to go in that coverage.
Well, that was the point, I think, of the motion. They started in trips to the left side, and as Gavin George went in motion to the right, the linebackers, 3 linebackers, they did run into each other, trip over each other, trying to get reset. So while we've got just a moment, we are going to be having a Central Hardin punt here on 4th and 11. But let me remind you, we're brought to you by Brandenburg Telecom, providing services for all of your telecommunications needs. Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties for all your real estate needs. Contact Ryan at 270-723-4626, and he'll get the job done. Xander Allen back to punt. We've got motion across here from Central Hardin. Allen takes the snap. Rugby-style punt running to his right. The kick is away.
He got a little wide
Not
on that
too
one.
bad.
Oh,
It's going to get a good
bounce on
central
the
bounce.
inside. And that is another good kick. He's giving us a salute for that one.
Great job by Xander Allen. About a 42-yard punt on the rugby punt, where he's sprinting out to the right. It looks like he's got the option to keep it. I think Coach Mattingly would have wrung his neck if he would have kept it, because he wouldn't have made the first down on that. The kid's got a lot of speed, but he didn't have an opportunity. But a great kick. It negates the return by kicking a low end-over-end kick to the side. And good low end-over-end kick. And
nice bounce.
pins them inside the 10. So first
back
and
where
10.
they were last series.
Yeah, 1st and 10 from the 9.
And he's looking to pass it.
Pass to number 5. Minkins will catch the pass, and that's a first down again. We've got the freshman Carson Allen back on the field at quarterback, number 16, after a big 92-yard touchdown pass in the last series. And he threw a dart on that one.
He's feeling a little bit more confident
He's
now.
feeling pretty good about himself, and that looked like it right there.
Well, you got to realize you got receivers that big.
Transfer to
Yeah, Minkins
They're
there.
throwing the ball.
Yeah, Minkins there's a pretty big kid for Ballard. Big number 5, I believe it is, Josh Minkins. Says here that he's 6'1", 180. He looks bigger than that in pads, I'm telling you. So we had 2 receivers in a bunch formation to the left. The give's going to be inside to Farmer. He breaks 1 tackle, but stuck at the line by about 4 others.
Farmer on the carry.
Well, I think this is what
Payne on the tackle.
Ballard probably would have
And
wanted to
Zach
do,
Jones.
is have a more balanced attack of pass and run. And maybe they felt like they needed to come out
Flag
running
on the
right at the
play.
beginning just to settle the
Flag
quarterback
on the
down, and it
play.
didn't seem to happen.
We had 2 flags on the play, and then a third one thrown well after that. We had a tie-up over on the far side of the play. The play was to the left, and two linemen, one defensive lineman, one offensive lineman, tangled up over on the far side of the play, shoving, pushing. I don't know if a punch was thrown or not, but laundry everywhere. So let's see what they're going to say. Who was the instigator and who was the flagged player? It's always the second guy that gets called, right?
Usually, that's when they catch it. It looks like it may be offsetting penalties.
Offsetting
Oh, wait a
unsportsmanlike
And
penalties.
then Ballard decided to pick up a second with that first one, so
So the first 2 flags that went was for the tussle. Both guys going to get flagged on that. The third flag was something else that happened after the play. I don't know if that was mouthing or pushing, but we've got, Ballard's going to go backwards, and it's going to be 1st and 25. No, yeah, 1st and 25.
about that.
Should be about that from the 13-yard line. So
They're going trips on the outside
ball has
there.
gone back. They've got trips formation again. Carson Allen. It's an empty backfield now. Farmer's going to come back and flank Allen, actually, and directly behind Allen in a pistol look. The give is straight ahead, and there's Noah Page.
Oh, but he
had a
breaks
hold
a
of him.
tackle.
Farmer breaks free. He picks up about 13 of those 15 yards they just lost. Tackled by Josh Valentine.
And it looked like it was going to be tackled in the backfield, and he just squirted out of there at the last minute.
Noah Page, the outside linebacker, came off the edge on a blitz and had a hold of him in the backfield, and he just slithered away. Actually, he picked up 16. It'll bring up 2nd and 9. Big pickup for Farmer to get back the lost yardage and make this manageable.
Well, I think they got the down marker wrong because they got it on 3rd, but it should be 2nd.
Yeah, there was no loss of down on 1st down. It went to 1st down again. So this should be 2nd and 9, not 3rd and 9, as the down marker says. Empty backfield again. Carson Allen, the freshman at quarterback.
Look at you.
Snap. Quick hitch to
Hitch.
the right.
Oh, threw it a little too high. I know he's a tall receiver, but that was a little up there.
Yeah, it was Elijah Downing who caught the touchdown pass before, and Noah Page gave him a little shot at the end of that, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he touched the ball.
That's a good point.
That's what I told my
Fair
dude.
game.
He had the ball, touch his hands. That's just like catching.
Well, I think we've made an error, Tony, as they've gone to 4th down, and the punting team is on. So I guess that was not a I guess since it was after the play, a dead ball foul, that it should have been moved to 2nd down originally. So we are at 4th down. Mistake on our part, not noting that it was a dead ball foul after the end of the play.
Oh, they almost got a block there.
Gavin George almost got a hand on it. Pretty good punt with a great roll for Ballard. But Central Hardin will start with decent field position on their own 41 from the left hash.
A little back and forth this half so far of field position. See what Central comes out with. It seems like they're trying to run in the middle. It's like every 2 good ones they get one comes right back. So see what they can do.
Well, we are kind of settling into what has been a bit of a defensive struggle here. Both teams have moved the ball and not scored. Ballard with probably quite a bit more success than Central Hardin. But again, the score stands at 7-7 with 1:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's getting late, and both teams struggling to try to find another scoring opportunity. Central Hardin's going to have to call a timeout as they are very
Miscommunication going on there. Had one guy running off, another guy not in position. So
They did not have the right personnel, and they weren't lined up correctly. So
I want to give a shout out to our sponsors again, Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Exterminating, call us at 737-6900 or online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Ratcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point, or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple.
Well, again, we've got 148 here after the timeout. We'll come back to action. Central Hardin 1st and 10, taking over at their 41-yard line after the Ballard punt. Again, necessitated pretty much by a personal foul call that put them behind the chains. Central Hardin is in the shotgun here. Gavin George in motion to the right, 2 receivers to the left. You've got a one-on-one look down here. I'm surprised, and they are going to try to take advantage of it. Gavin on the catch. A good move, escaping the corner up the sideline, and he'll pick up about 17 yards.
And that again, that heavy blitz-happy defense giving one-on-one and spacing going on, and that tends to happen if you can get that pass off.
If you can get the ball to Gavin one-on-one, Gavin George is one of the best athletes on the field, and he can make a play with the football. We saw it against Meade County 2 weeks ago several times where Gavin was able to make big plays, even score touchdowns on similar quick passes where he'd make several defenders miss. And so he's in motion again back to the short side of the field. They're playing tight coverage with a safety over the top on his side now. Give to Valentine straight ahead, and he is stuck. That was number 6, Jared Casey, making the tackle on the second hit.
They may go back to that screen pass or quick hitch and see if they can catch him off guard and maybe go right back to that seam pass. It's got to hit again.
Well, I would suggest that going back to that seam pass because the adjustment, they made an adjustment immediately on Gavin. They brought the corner, instead of playing him 7 yards off, they brought him right up in Gavin's face, and I saw him shift the safety over now to Gavin's side. The good news then is if the safety's on his side, that leaves it leaves the seam. You're one-on-one down the middle of the field with your slot receiver, which in this formation is Deonko Wilkerson, who caught the touchdown earlier. So let's see if they're setting that up. It would seem to make sense. They may run the football a few times here at 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 11 maybe even. But they may have an opportunity here to make a play in the passing game.
And they're bringing the blitz again.
They're going again. Gavin down the seam, and he had his hands on it. Good throw. Could not come down with it. You don't see that often with Gavin.
And that was a look they were looking for. They brought the linebackers on the blitz and left that one-on-one right there.
Boy, like you said in the first series, they are daring Central Hardin to throw the ball, and all these opportunities are going by the boards here. Opportunity after opportunity. That one, the throw on the money, Gavin just couldn't come up with it.
Oh, wet ball, wet conditions.
Tough night, especially for people who aren't experienced in the passing game, to handle the football. Well, George now wide to the left. Deonko Wilkerson in the slot. Taylor Ferris down to the right side. 3rd and 10. Sean Hay will take the snap. Rolling out to the left and just stuck for a sack in the backfield. Number 44, Justice Thompson, to make another big play.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to get that hitch route off, but he didn't even have a chance to set his feet before he was already getting laid out on that play.
Well, the protection was set up. I saw Noah Page right in front of Justice Thompson to make the block. He did not make the block. And I see Sean Hay coming off the sideline, and he's struggling a little bit, and he's getting to know number 44 Justice Thompson pretty well. He probably knows what the guy looks like underneath the face mask. Well, that brings us to the end of the third quarter. It's going to bring up a 4th and 16. I'm sure that'll bring the punting unit on the field for Central Hardin. But at the end of 3, we have Central Hardin 7, Ballard 7. So it's getting late in the game, and somebody's going to have to make a play to win the ball game. And the field position war so far in this third quarter was won by Central Hardin, but so far have not been able to take advantage of that, Tony.
No, they haven't. And you got to wonder how long it takes for Ballard's athleticism to come back out again, like on that one pass play. So we'll see if Central can hold them down here this last quarter, and hopefully that timeout doesn't come back and bite them on the butt. They end up having to use for just a miscommunication type of situation.
So Xander Allen back in punt formation. Back deep is Mulaney and Payton to receive the punt. Looks like Ballard is setting up for a return. They've got a third man back about 15 yards, probably waiting to pick up the first sprint
bounce
man to come down the field, trying to get some blocks here to set up a big return. Snap is good. Allen gets it away. It looks like he's angling it toward the right side to keep it out of the return man's hands. Mulaney will pick it up, and he's got space, and that's just what you were talking about. When are they going to make another big play? There it is. Xander Allen trying to give chase.
And he's
great play by the punter, Xander Allen. Woo! Saved a touchdown.
Saved that touchdown. I'm surprised Ballard didn't get called for unsportsmanlike there than in the play. They were sitting there taunting the sidelines for a good hot minute. And go back to the rugby punt.
Well, that's pretty impressive. Xander Allen is the kicker on the football team. He is a soccer player. A lot of speed, and he showed it right there. It was one-on-one, him and one of the best athletes on the Ballard Bruin team. And he ran him down.
Yeah, he did.
And just kind of hog-tied him and put him on the ground. So that'll give Ballard great field position on the Central Hardin 26-yard line. But the score is still 7-all. Allen at center. He's going to throw a
screen,
quick
and that is just ate up.
25, Kyler Lee on the tackle in the backfield.
And he got nothing on that. Like they were trying to set a block for him on there, and Central had nothing to do with that.
That was number 30, Keaton Goebel on the catch. We haven't seen him targeted but once tonight. And Kyler Lee all over him.
Yeah, he read that. That was an easy read.
Quickly saw the guy turn and get Xander Allen's giving me hand signals from down on the field. He's in my first block English class, so Xander's pretty excited about actually making a tackle. Motion by Goebel. Give is to Farmer. He's got a little room off the left side. He's broken two tackles.
Farmer on the carry.
He got a good maybe 6 yards out of that play. It looked like it was going to stop the line of scrimmage to start with.
They had an opportunity, and actually, he picked up about 6. It was 2nd and 14. It's probably going to bring up about a 3rd and 8, maybe even a 3rd and 7 here on a 7-yard pickup. So it looked like it wasn't going to be much.
Turned into something.
Jaden Farmer made something out of that. So
this is a really big down for Central. They need to stop them here and force a field goal.
Well, 3rd and 7, it is a big down, and any score here is a possible backbreaker. It's a possible winner as much as we've seen the defenses take advantage of opportunities. Throwing it up, and it's a great play by Deonka Wilkes. Number 14 was the intended receiver, Rashad
We
Bishop.
got flags on the play. And that was good coverage. He got his hand in there, popped it out before he could get a chance to catch it.
Wilkerson on the breakout. Personal foul against the Bruins.
So a big 3rd and 7 stop turns into a 1st down as the Bruins are flagged for a personal foul. Looks like they're kind of losing some discipline here. The Bruins are making some foolish errors. They've made several of these foolish errors on the field.
In the second quarter, when they had that chance for good field position, take the ball back and 7-0 lead and get a personal foul. And then this one here, I hate to see that for the cornerback after he did such a good play there.
Ball's on the 12.
Well, it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Ballard with the football. I think they're well within field goal range as well. sure they're looking to put 7 on the board right here. Allen will give to Farmer, and not much straight ahead. Josh Valentine knifing through to make the tackle.
Stopped by the front line of the Bruins.
I don't know if that was a blitz, Tony, but he was there in a hurry. He filled quickly.
He was. We'll see what they do here.
Well, again, the freshman Allen has played much better here in the second half. His confidence seems to be growing. Carson Allen, again, back at quarterback and making a difference. Trips formation to the right. It'll be 2nd and 9. The ball is just outside the 10-yard line. Farmer is the back. Looking to his right.
And he,
ball's tipped up in the air, incomplete.
That's incomplete.
That was dangerous in the back of the end because number 18 was coming across. It could almost get to that tip.
Well, the throw was to 14 Bishop, and it was batted up in the air, and 18 Elijah Downing was roaming the back of the end zone, and his 6'4" frame, he could almost reach up and snatch about anything that's flying loose.
I'd almost put a man over top and underneath on him on this down on 18 just to be safe.
Well, you got to be looking maybe at a jump ball kind of throw here, don't you, Tony? That's a good thought. They are one-on-one on Downing out here, and that's Gavin George drawing that assignment, 14 to the left. Allen ready to take the snap. He is going to throw. He's looking to looking to the left. He had 29 Farmer wide open. The running back out of the backfield. The linebacker didn't pick him up, and he was by himself. Touchdown if they make a good throw, and Allen missed it.
I still think it would have thrown up in the end zone to 18. Should be able to knock it down or catch it. If he doesn't and if it's incomplete, you still got your field goal, but you got your best guy in the end zone trying to make a play on that ball.
Tough throw right there, and again, the play worked. The running back's wide open. The linebacker didn't even pay any attention to the back out of the backfield like he should. He should be reading the running back anyway. The snap is down. The kick is up for the field goal. And it's a rough kick, but it's through. He hit a spinner. He hit it really low, and it was barely creeping over the bar. But with 9:08 to go, that's going to give Ballard the lead 10-7. And so Central Hardin is now tasked with coming back. They've been ahead much of the night after the early first quarter touchdown to Deonko Wilkerson. Central Hardin's been unable to take advantage of good field position, and now it's Ballard 10, Central Hardin 7.
I think Central's had more success at the spread so far this game. They may look to do that this last drive coming up.
Well, you got to think they probably got, at most, the way they run the football, 2 possessions, at most. You're saying this could even be their last possession. They might need to even treat it that way. You don't know with a heavy running-oriented team that the clock runs. And so with 9:08 to go, they are fighting not just a 3-point deficit, but also the clock.
And they gave up a timeout.
Central Hardin did give up a timeout. So down to, is it 2 timeouts? I think?
Yes.
Down to 2 timeouts. So it'll be Jacob Halliday to kick off, number 35, after making the point after touchdown. He'll be kicking off. Back deep, Gavin George and Deonko Wilkerson. This time kicking it, squibbing it strangely out of bounds.
It's just straight out of bounds. I guess they didn't want none of that running back this time.
Well, we've got just a moment here. I'll look at a couple of our sponsors again. It says this is an HCEC-TV student production, a division of the Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of RE/MAX Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. Tune in weekly for rebroadcasts of all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Communications Channel 184. So Central Hardin has opted here not to take the ball. I believe they would get it at the 40.
They want them to kick again. They
want
to see if they can make something happen.
They've had some success in the kick return game. They've got 2 great return men back, and so they'll move it back 5 yards. And Jacob Halliday, number 35 for Ballard, will kick off now from his own 35. He will probably likely squib kick it again, but we'll see if the Bruins can set up a return this time. The kick is deep, and he has pounded that one.
But he's got a good handle on that kick.
Gavin George with a lot of space up inside, looking for room. Oh, one tackler to beat. One tackler to beat, and he would have been one-on-one with the kicker. So, they actually come out about 3 yards behind. as they will get the ball on about the 37-yard lines, but 3 yards is probably worth it for an opportunity for a big play.
Yeah, I think, especially at this point in the game, if you can get the opportunity to try to break something open, why not take that chance? Being behind 3, and next possession Ballard gets the ball, they're just going to try to run it in, run it out.
They're going to try to run out the clock if they can. That's right. And so Central Hardin, 1st and 10 from their own 38, actually, is where they're going to spot it, not the 37. And Hay under center. They give us to the fullback, and there's nothing there as that has been shut down.
Valentine on the carry.
We've seen him split that fullback trap a couple of times. The fullback dive and the trap generally have not been very effective against the heavy blitz and goal line front.
That spine of that defense that Ballard's got is just rough business, and breaking one out against them is going to be tough. I think we've only got one time we broke one out and we're against the spine of it.
Absolutely. Especially led by number 44, Justice Thompson, down the middle. It's the inside reverse there to Wilkerson, and he's got 3 or 4 yards. Not a bad play, but again, you're working now against the clock, and 3 and 4 yard gains are going to make things tough.
Yeah, they are.
Especially after a 0-yard game. So he's picked up 4, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6. You got to think maybe they're even in 4-down territory here. Maybe they would punt it away.
See how far they get on this 3rd down. Maybe the big determining factor if they go for it or not.
Yeah,
but I don't know about running that inside, because that last time they tried to run it inside and outside.
Has not been much there. So the as we said early in the game, that this Ballard defense is tough. And well, double wing formation. Sean Hay under center. He's going to drop back to throw. We've got the seam route again. 36 for Ballard. Had an opportunity at the football. The safety was in a little bit better position in coverage that time. That number 36 is Matthew Curd, 5'8", 147 at safety, had the coverage. Wilkerson still had a chance to catch the ball.
I think he thought it was probably going to be picked off there. Went right through his safety's hands.
I think he did. It looked like Wilkerson had good position, but just couldn't. So on the incomplete pass and the stoppage of the clock, that was the determining factor. And so on 4th and 6, Xander Allen into punt. They'll look to get a stop and get it back, and Ballard will look to run clock and put this thing away. Unfortunately, Xander Allen, who's been dynamite tonight in the kicking game, his worst effort of the night, about a 25-yard punt. And the Ballard Bruins will take over at their own 30 line with 7 minutes and 19 seconds to go in the game.
Let's see if they come out aggressive this first series and see what they can get. But it's going to be a...
By aggressive, do you think they'll go to the air to try to pick up first downs, or are they just going to run the football?
They may just throw it up at least one time. It's first or 2nd down.
Well, that would be probably a good idea. They need to move the chains and keep the ball and run the clock. And so, one way to do that, obviously, is to take advantage of those big wide receivers on the outside. They are under center. They are in a tight end wing formation to the left. And Allen's going to turn and give to Farmer. He's got space on the left side, makes one man miss. He's still on his feet. About a 20-yard pickup. Deonko Wilkerson stops him from scoring a touchdown.
Wilkerson on the stop.
And that's a new look for him as well.
A little off tackle, a little more heavy formation with the wing to the left and the tight end to the left, and they were running to the strong side of the formation.
It looks like they are going to try to just pound the football and finish this thing off and try to get out of here.
Well, a couple more runs like that, and this thing will be about run out. So they are in shotgun this play, however. Trips to the right, so much for that. Allen probably looking to give to Farmer. Counter to the right. He's got space again to the right. Kyler Lee will bring him down. It looked like he was being held, but great job to get off the block and make a tackle. They've run that counter play with some good effectiveness in the second half.
Central's going to need to really get in there on this play. And the next, they can't let them get another first down in this series.
They've got to look to maybe be a little more aggressive. I agree on the defensive side. So trips to the left. Pistol look with Jaden Farmer behind Carson Allen. snap. It looked like they jumped a little early, but Farmer will run around the right side. Got a hold of him. He breaks one tackle, breaks a second tackle.
Like
That'll be a first down.
It's a hard situation coaching in this this scenario, because you want to be aggressive, but if sometimes you get a little too aggressive and then it costs you another score. But if you sit back, you don't have time to sit back right now.
I agree. Coach Jackson, the defensive coordinator for Central Hardin, has got his work cut out for him here. He's got to get a stop. He also cannot afford to be so aggressive that they give up an easy one either. So he's got some tough calls to make here. Let's see if he can dial up the right defensive looks. And if the Central Hardin Bruins can make a play. Give to Farmer straight ahead. Down after about a 3 or 4 yard gain. Josh Valentine on the tackle.
Valentine on the stop.
So how aggressive do you get here, Coach Menendez? What would you be looking to do in this situation defensively?
Timeout on the field.
I think that'd be blitzing. You got to bring it. I don't think you can just sit back.
Morton.
I agree. I think you've got to bring heat. You've got to try to get the ball back and stop it. Well, we've got a stoppage on the field. Number 75, Jonathan Morton, offensive tackle for the Ballard Bruins, is down on the field. And while we've got a moment, we'll again acknowledge our sponsors. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results, with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties. For all of your real estate needs, contact Ryan at 270-723-4626, and he'll get the job done. Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900. Online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. And so as the injured player, Morton, is taken off of the field, Ballard will come back to the line of scrimmage with a 2nd and 7 on the Central Hardin 30-yard line with 5:27 to go in the game, and a couple more first downs could just run this thing out. Tony, you said you'd look to be aggressive on the defensive side. Would you go all out or just bring some strategic blitzes?
I think I've been bringing blitzes on that center. He's been having some bad snaps this game. Why not put some pressure on him and see if he messes up again?
Farmer on the carry.
We got a
He's
flag
got some
on the play.
space, and the flag is down.
Farmer on the carry.
Tackle is finally made after a big, about an 8 or 9 yard gain, maybe 10 yards.
Yeah, we got a hold in there. I think I'll bring some pressure on that center.
So some A-gap pressure straight over the center, maybe with one of your big linebackers, maybe just the thing. Central Hardin's going to have an opportunity here. The Ballard Bruins had picked up a big first down there, but there's a holding call, a spot foul, and so it will remain 2nd down, but Ballard will be in long yardage with about a 2nd and it looks like about 17 on the play. So from the right hash and on the 39-yard line of Central Hardin, they'll go for it from 2nd and 17.
The clock is running. We got about 4 or 5 minutes left.
4:48 running, and it's Carson Allen to take the snap in an empty set. 5 wide receivers. He's letting the clock wind down. He's going to use all of the play clock as he waits and waits. We've got a 2 deep look. Timeout, Ballard Bruins. They let the play clock run all the way down and decided to talk about how they're going to approach this 2nd and 17 look. And while we have this break, again, just one more time, this is an HCEC-TV student production, a division of the Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. Tune in weekly for rebroadcasts of all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Communication on Channel 184. Special thanks to our HCEC-TV crew, both our students and our professionals here who are supporting those students. Again, we're thankful for our sponsors who give this opportunity for us to see our student athletes and for our television production students to get an opportunity to work behind the camera. So with 4:30 to go, Tony, I'm thinking it's kind of desperation time.
I think so too, but I think this is a situation where the offense may want to try to pop a pass out. You got the timeout. You know you're going to run the clock down after this play if you don't get the pass off, and force Central's offense to try to come back in this game, and they've done a pretty good job of holding them throughout the game.
Well, you've got a one-on situation down here with number 18 Downing on Gavin George here, and they're motioning away. Farmer in the pistol behind Allen. Snap, give to Farmer, straight ahead, and Noah Page on the blitz hits him in the backfield. Maybe a yard gain, but probably right at the line of scrimmage. Well, there's your blitz, Tony.
There's your blitz from the outside.
Brought it from the outside, not in the A-gap like we were calling for, but they got to make a big play, and they went for it.
Yeah, they did. You needed to come in there. You got to bring some heat. I still was surprised they ran it there. I think I would have went for a pass.
Well, you've got these two tall wide receivers on the outside at about 6'4" and 6'5". That's Downing and Downing and Bishop. Rashad Bishop, 14. You think they may take a shot, but we're 3rd and 17 from their Central Hardin 39. You got to think they need about 10 to 12 yards at least for a field goal try even. Well, they lost track of the clock. And even though they're running the clock down, the clock is running. Why is the clock running? Clock's running. There it is, stopped. Okay. I'm watching the clock on a flag, and we lost about 5 seconds there on the clock. 5 to 7 seconds.
And that makes a difference.
It does make a difference. So
3:35.
looks like they're readjusting
they're
that.
going to adjust the clock there. So the penalty was called. It's going to bring up 3rd and 22 now, as they wanted to run the play clock down, but they ran it all the way out. Which brings up 3rd and 22 from the Central Hardin 43-yard line. They are way behind the sticks, but they got the big kids to take a shot. They're going to give to Farmer. Straight ahead. Ball on the ground. Central Hardin. Wow. The mystery man, 35, comes up with a fumble recovery. So we don't have 35 on the roster. They're wearing the new gray uniforms here, the gray jerseys, and we don't have a 35 on either of the two rosters that we've been provided for Central Hardin. Big play, 3-5. Hang on. Hey, Sarah, who's 35? Not on the roster. Good. Okay.
No one has it. But 35 has played big on that play.
I was checking with our play people down the way, and they don't have 35 on any roster either. So they'll take over 1st and 10. Big stop for the Bruins, Central Hardin Bruins. Gavin George in motion. Sean Hay looking back. It's the quick hitch to Gavin. He's going to have 5 or 6 yards. He's trying to get away, and he's knocked out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain.
I think that's what you look for. Use some quick hitches, quick outs. Look for a slant. Maybe get a rub.
Pick up a 5.
At some point, if you can run something to confuse them and get one down the middle of the field again, that would be a good idea. In the old Coach Lawson, Coach Perry lingo, that's called sluggo, where you run the slant and go, which is a great route from the outside receiver. I don't know if that's in the playbook here. We've got trips formation to the right. Out of the shotgun, Sean Hay looking down the middle of the field. He's just throwing that one up. Not much of an opportunity there as coverage was good. Again, this late in the game, they're going to start to loosen up a little bit, the coverage.
Yeah, they are. They're still bringing 44, but it looks like Mattingly and them has got the running back staying back just to chip him at least, slow him down before he can get back there to give him time to throw the ball.
You better pay attention to Justice Thompson or you're going to have a problem. He's going to be in your quarterback's lap. So good strategy to have the running back paying attention to the blitzing linebacker there from especially the big stud Justice Thompson. 3rd down and 5. 2:41 to go in the game. Bruins looking to pick up 5 here. Honestly, they could run the football if they wanted to at this point. There's not a desperation sense here. There shouldn't be.
And I thought 2 was going to be wide open on that play.
So throw is just slightly behind Deonka Wilkerson again on the skinny post or the seam route there. It looked like he had Taylon Ferris on a hitch route to the outside. If you're looking for 5 yards to pick up a first down, looked like that would have been the thing to go to right there. Again, inexperienced quarterback. He's probably looking for the big play about every snap. Honestly, you need to be looking for the first down.
I think if he would have cut that
point.
seam a little bit earlier.
If he'd have sat down.
Yep. It was there.
It was there. The coverage was way deep, way off of him. I agree, but inexperienced receivers and quarterbacks in the passing game. George in motion to the left. He'll be one-on-one on the left side. I'd look for a hitch down here just trying to pick it up. No, we're rolling to the right. There's an out route to Wilkerson. The throw is going to be high.
And he caught it.
Inbounds.
Pass complete to Wilkerson.
Big catch for about a 12-yard gain. Wilkerson will catch the pass and go out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. So big play, Deonka Wilkerson. I was looking behind the play. There was a big hit by one of the Ballard Bruins on a Central Hardin Bruin lineman way after the play, and no flag thrown. So with 2:32 remaining, trips to the left. Hay in shotgun.
Well, Central's getting a lot of one-on-one looks right here.
Yeah, those crossing routes and out routes
right
are good.
there,
He's got
wide
Gavin
open,
George
wide
wide open. Catch. Looking to get out of bounds. It's a 4-yard gain, and the clock is stopped. So that's a really good play. You know, you can't always look for the 20-yarder. You hit 4 yards, get out of bounds, and the clock is stopped.
Take what you can get.
If you could have got it to him earlier, we might have had an opportunity to get a few
make
more
some
yards.
yards after the catch on that
Yeah.
play.
A little slow getting him the football, but open right away. Again, crossing routes, out routes against this loose man coverage. They're very far off of the receivers. Good opportunity to run some of those kind of routes. Trips formation to the right. George in motion back to the left.
And they look like
in the
they're a
shotgun.
bit confused there on that coverage.
Yeah, the motion is really getting them out of position. The blitz coming. Oh, triple coverage on Gavin George, and that was always going to be picked. That was always going to be picked. Number 44, Justice Thompson, just absolutely planted Sean Hay into the ground. I think on a Sunday hit on the quarterback, that would have been a personal foul, the way they're calling him now. But I think it was a clean hit, but Justice Thompson just absolutely drilled the quarterback.
Yeah, I think that was a bad decision. I think you just take the sack there, need it.
Well, again, he took a shot, and there was nothing there. Literally triple covered. 3 guys back. The safety actually came over and made the interception. It was number 36, I believe, for Ballard that made the play. That was Matthew Curd making the interception. The give is to Farmer. Farmer's got a lot of room. He'll pick up about 8 or 9 yards.
Flag on the play.
There is a flag down, Tony.
Yep.
Holding against Ballard.
And it's getting a little sloppy here late in the game for Ballard. That's, I think, 3 penalties on their offense in the last 2 series. Maybe some frustrations, want to get this thing done with and get the heck home.
Yeah, the penalties, I think, on the last possession led to the third down fumble. 2 penalties put them in a 3rd and 25 or 3rd and 30 back on the previous possession. And here, the penalty puts them behind the sticks at 1st and 14 now on the hold. But the clock is running, and Central Hardin is going to have to get a stop right now. I don't know, with I think just 1 timeout, I don't think they can get this clock
each
stopped
team's
enough.
only got 1 timeout right now.
So, we're seeing a blitz man look now out of Central Hardin. There's no deep safeties. They're going to bring heat. They're going to try to stop the run. Another flag down on the play.
Illegal procedure against Ballard.
False start on Ballard, and that'll back them up even further. And so they are, again, as you mentioned, shooting themselves in the foot. I don't know, based on the amount of time that's left here and 3 plays that Ballard can run, that Central will even get the ball back. But if they can, and they can get a stop here, it's going to give them some field position to to give it a shot. So they are tasked right now with getting a stop, not giving up a first down, and it's 1st and 18 right now. Ballard on their own 4-yard line. So Coach Jackson, the D coordinator, had blitz man coverage set up, and he does again. Bring in the house. Josh Valentine and Noah Page absolutely stoning Farmer at the line of scrimmage.
That was almost a safety on that one.
And they are trying to rip the ball out of his hands. They're going to give him forward progress to the line. A little more than maybe he got, but timeout, and I believe the last for the Bruins to stop the clock at 1:35. Yeah. I'm not able at this moment to do the math, but it really appears as though Central Hardin is going to get the ball punted to them probably inside of 20 seconds left in the game, if my math is correct, and however long it takes these officials to spot the football and wind a clock and
I mean, they may get
start the play clock.
Depending on where the punt ends and what return they can get out of it, if any, before clocks that ran out, they may get a shot at a field goal.
That I did not consider, depending on what kind of punt. Obviously, I would think they'd be going for a punt block down if they can get the stop here. You'd expect. You never know. Ballard could pop a long run, or I can't imagine they're going to toss the football anywhere.
No, I don't think you would.
Especially with the young quarterback.
And not where they're backed up at the end zone. You don't want something silly to happen right before the end of the game.
Right.
I bet you he may not even go in shotgun in this series.
Well, they've gone to Paul Mullaney.
They've gone back to that Wildcat.
They're going to the Wildcat here. Go.
They said take their freshman out.
Yeah, and they brought the big wide receiver in at tight end to block for him. He's going to run sweep around the left side. He's being brought down at about the 5-yard line. No gain again, and the clock will run. In the words of Chris Berman, tick, 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 tick. Clock is running down, and that's the enemy of the Central Hardin Bruins right now. A friend of the Ballard Bruins, and the play clock has been blown into play here for this third down. It'll run down. They'll have to snap it at about 50 seconds for this play. 25 seconds after it will be. They'll have to punt it by about 20 seconds to go in the game. Again, if Central Hardin can get another stop, see if they can get a big special teams play. Let's project forward. If they could stop, if they could get the ball in decent position. Evan Jones has kicked a 49-yarder this year, so we've got some leg coming off the sideline. He's not in the net.
Ballard using their last timeout.
Okay, Ballard to call timeout. That clock ran down a little longer than 1:15. The official wound his arm. It's a 25-second clock. By my math, that's 50 seconds. It's run down to 44.4. I'm not real sure. My math isn't working out real well there. I don't know how that occurred. Again, I was watching pretty carefully on that. But interestingly enough, there is no kicker kicking into the net down here, maybe preparing for a possible game-tying field goal. That's a little bit concerning on the Central Hardin sideline. But Evan Jones ought to be warming his leg up in case the opportunity were to arise. If they could get a piece of it, block a punt, he may be called on immediately to try to
just
tie
run
up.
in there.
Or even if, because of pressure, there's a bad punt.
Yeah, I mean, you kick it out of bounds there, squib it short by accident, under the pressure, kicking out of the end zone. You never know. You can just go straight in there, kick a field goal, and see what you can do.
So blitz man coverage, bringing the house. Coach Jackson is dialing up the blitz here, trying to get this stop. It's 5 wide receivers, and Paul Mullaney is going to go straight ahead with the football, and he'll be brought down immediately. He's still inside the 5-yard line. I think he's at the 2 or 3, as they have been knocking them backwards here, and the clock is running, and they wind the clock. Goodness gracious, the officials have taken forever to do that. I don't even know if they're going to have to snap the ball here.
Now, with the way they're doing this, they're not going to.
It's literally going to be, if they do have to snap it, it will be at the 2 or 3 second mark. But I think it's just going to run out. Yeah, I don't think they have to snap the ball. Yep, they do have to. With 5 seconds remaining, the officials this time had good math. as I saw them wind it at about 30 seconds, and at 5 seconds they have blown it dead and thrown a delay of game flag. The ball will be moved back half the distance. The ball was already on the 1 yard line. It will now be on the half-yard line, and so Central Hardin will bring the house and try to get a block here. Maybe a game-winning touchdown. They've got no space to kick this ball. Nightmare for Ballard. One last opportunity to snap.
And he's
He's
trying to run
running,
it,
and it's going to be a safety. Smart play by Ballard. It will be 2 points, and the Bruin crowd is cheering, but that was smart. That will be pretty much the end of the game.
They'll get a
They'll
punt.
have to kick off to Central, but if their kick team can, again, very smart play. They didn't try to punt it out. It's going to be 10-9 as the Bruins get a safety. Great move by the coach.
Oh, yes. That was a smart move. Take the safety, have less than a second, a little over a second left in the game, kick it off, and unless Central can just run this back, it's going to be rough business.
Well,
This when you pull out your trick special team play.
I don't know what you got
double
here.
handoff or something like that.
You know, the one thing that confused me about that play by Ballard there, the take the safety play, which is a great play. If he could have run around a little longer, the clock would have run out, in fact, and it would have been game over, 10-9. But when you're going to run that play, why is your kicker, punter, the guy catching the ball?
You think they would have Delaney back there?
Yeah, you got to have your guy who's a ball handler. That kid has never run with the football. And the ball could have been knocked loose easily with a kid who has rarely, if ever, run a football. Why not have your kid who always handles the football taking that snap and running with it? It worked out. Ballard is in the driver's seat here. With 1.2 seconds remaining, it's Ballard 10, Central Hardin 9. And the Ballard coaches, Adrian Morton, head coach, great call on the take the safety call. Okay. All right, the punt is away. Gavin George is going to field the punt, and this is it, guys. Oh, my goodness, they are throwing they've got space. Deonko Wilkerson, they're going to say it was a forward lateral, and Deonko's down anyway. They had it set up, the old miracle play, where they tried to throw it back across the field to Wilkerson. They had a wall set up, but the penalty is going to be for a forward lateral, as Deonko hadn't quite gotten behind Gavin George to receive that lateral.
Well, that's when we said before the plays, I wonder if they're going to try to pull off some tricksy stuff there.
And they did. I thought, honestly, they would just run a basic return and try to find a seam and try to split it and go to the house on that with the two great return men that they have. They set up a really nice, it's the same play they ran in Tennessee in the Music City Miracle, where they threw the ball back across the field on a lateral. And they had it set up. It was, they had space. I saw the entire Ballard kickoff team running in the direction of the football. Nobody watching Deonko, and 2 or 3 Central Hardin blockers set up to create a wall. Problem was, is as in any situation, the pass took so long to get across the field that the Ballard Bruins recovered quickly. They were all sprinting back to the ball as it's in the air, going over to Deonko Wilkerson from Gavin George, and just not enough time for him to make a play out of that.
Even though it's a loss for Central, they got to feel somewhat good. I mean, they played one of the better teams in the state and held their own and just kept them from scoring most of the game, other than one big breakout pass.
It's been a tough season for the Bruins. This is going to finish the season at 3-7. There have been a lot of these kinds of losses, honestly. A 3-point loss to Bowling Green, who is perennial leader in the state. This 1-point loss here, a 5-point loss to a John Hardin team that honestly has, I believe, 7 wins, and so is a top level type of 5A football team. So a lot of tough losses on the other side. Ballard with close losses to Manual, close loss to Trinity, and tonight they're able to come through with just a few more plays. Central Hardin won the turnover battle, but couldn't turn that into enough points.
James, I wonder if Ballard liked that they had to show that wildcat package and wanted to save that for the playoffs in case their quarterback was dinged up. But
They put Paul Mullaney in there for Carson Allen, and Carson, the freshman, coming back with a couple of big plays in the second half. That was a good outing for him, I'm sure, to get his feet wet. He will not be called upon. They have a solid sophomore starter, but you got to feel good if you're Ballard as far as you've got a young kid who at least can go in, and he's now been in the middle of a battle.
Yep.
Well, the final score again, at the end, 10 Ballard Bruins, 9 Central Hardin Bruins. We did have a Bruin victory tonight for our HCEC-TV family here, not the Bruin victory that we were hoping for. Again, we're quite the journalists, Tony, and we're being very neutral in these calling these games. Oh, wait a minute, we're Hardin County TV. We're cheering for the Hardin County team. But Central Hardin put in a good effort tonight. Just a few too many mistakes, not enough on the offensive side of the ball. Like you said, a good defensive performance. They've got some things to build on going into the playoffs. They have a home playoff game here next week. We will be here to call that game for Hardin County Television. And hopefully we'll see a Central Hardin victory. Maybe they can build off of some of the successes they had tonight. So, Tony, any final thoughts before we call it an evening?
I think it was a good game overall. I mean, both of us loved it. We're both defensive coaches, so seeing that struggle back and forth, and I think Central has some positive pull out of this games. When they did go into the spread, they did have some success throwing the ball around, and you can build upon that and maybe work that in with the wing tee some more for the playoffs and see if they can make something happen.
Well, I agree with you. And, again, some good things that it was really fun to watch some of the defensive adjustments, some of the adjustments that were made on the offensive side as well, especially on the Ballard sideline with trading different quarterbacks in and out of the game. But a fun game for us two defensive coaches watching. I hope you enjoyed it at home. A lot of exciting plays. That wraps up our regular season for the year in Week 11. Next week here at Central Hardin, we'll start the playoffs, and we'll see you back here next week at Central Hardin for those playoffs. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.